tonight, number 9 Clemson heads to Raleigh to take on NC State. 3:30 kick on ESPN. Whole lot of implications in that one. NC State thinking they've got a chance to knock off a team that's had their number for quite some time. Speaking of time, it's time now for Food Lions Food for Thought. FPI still favors Clemson, but it's given the Tigers its second lowest chance to win a game over the past 5 seasons, barely edging out Notre Dame of last season, a game the Tigers lost.
He's got one-on-one to the sideline, and Uiagalelei sails it up over the head of E.J. Williams. Uiagalelei a little bit out in front of Joseph Ngata. Add Clemson to the list of teams right now that are struggling in an unexpected way.
I think everyone's got this preconceived notion that it's just the offense is falling apart, that Coach Elliott needs to go, and DJ isn't this and isn't that, and those things are wrong.
When you've got young players that are very inexperienced, next thing you know, if you're not sure, then what goes out the window is your fundamentals, your technique. That's the part that's hurting us right now.
Uiagalelei sacked again. No protection again. Sacked again.
It's a reality to be a little bit concerned by the performance of this offense.
The offensive linemen eat criticism for breakfast. I'm not really worried about the criticism. We're winning, yes, but we're cutting it close. There's a standard that has been set and needs to be met.
Excited to welcome in one of the newest members of our team. He does a phenomenal job. College football analyst Robert Griffin. He's actually on a call today with Mark Jones and Quinn Kesnick on this one. And you heard it right there, Robert. Something's just not right with this Clemson offense. And as a guy who mastered the role at the quarterback position for so many years, what are you seeing issue-wise with DJ right now?
Yeah, when you look at that tape you guys just put together, it's like the world is falling and the sky is falling on Clemson. But as they said, they are winning. I think for DJ, the biggest issue for him is that he's trying to be too perfect, right? There is a big cloud around him with Trevor Lawrence having been gone and the legend that he was. But I think for them offensively, it's more of a technique thing. Yes, they lost out on Travis Etienne, the ACC all-time leading rusher. Yes, they lost out on having Amari Rodgers and Cornell Powell. So the coaches, when we talked to them this week, they said they're still getting to know their personnel. And I think that's what you see from their offense right now. They just don't have an identity. But when you talk about DJ specifically, I think it's more so about his footwork, throwing from a consistent base, and not trying to be too perfect when he's playing the quarterback position.
Well, Robert, watching you play, man, I know you could read a defense. I'm going to ask you to read this Clemson defense. It's been dominant. Hasn't given up a touchdown so far this season. What are you seeing with the Tigers on that side of the football?
Yeah, with Clemson's defense, it's almost the complete opposite of what we see from their offense, right? They're playing with great technique. They're playing with great disguise. And the thing that happened on that 4th and goal play that they got the stop is they're playing with instincts, right? Balen Spector had the instinctual interception against Georgia when JT Daniels was trying to throw it to the boundary receiver. And Jamie Skowski was out there getting skinny inside the guard on that 4th down play to make that stop. So for them, they want to get more turnovers, but what we've seen from them is the fact that they haven't given up a touchdown all season, and that's phenomenal. They have a championship-level defense, and they just need their offense to catch up.
Robert, the Pack have upset on their mind. The most favorable odds in recent history as they face the Tigers here. If the Pack are able to do it, how will it happen?
I think what people are not realizing is how good of a defense NC State has, right? Tony Gibson's running that 3-3-5 stack defense, and they've only given up about 8 points per game this year as well. So if both defenses are going to be shutting down the offense, it could come down to special teams being the key for NC State and or Clemson to win the game. But one thing that Dave Duran told me during our talk was he doesn't just need the fans to show up. He needs them to be engaged. And he thinks that electric atmosphere will help give NC State the home field advantage they need to come out and let Leary go out there and put up some points.
Yeah, Robert, it's interesting you mentioned that fan perspective. EJ made a great point the other day. If that game was a night game, maybe that crowd factors in a little bit more. But we really appreciate the insight, man. Look forward to you on the call and, of course, that game. Thank you very much.
Hey, appreciate you guys. God bless.
Robert Griffin there, which leads me to my favorite part of the show, where I get to test your guys' knowledge. I get to read off this card. I don't have any pressure on me. Trivia question for you. Do any of you guys know why NC State and Clemson, this game is called the Textile Bowl?
I've got a thought. I do. My mom was big into fabrics and sewing, and textiles are about fabrics. And so I'm thinking maybe before football was invented, it was like a sewing contest, and whoever could stitch have the best.
Clemson and NC State.
Yeah, they could stitch. Maybe not. I have no idea.
I wanted you to keep going. I thought maybe you'd get there.
I have no idea.
I won't make you guys guess here. This is like actually like a host no-no. Never put your guys in a spot to not look like you know what you're talking about. But who could expect you to know with this one? It's actually a designation that dates back to 1981 as a joint effort by North and South Carolina to promote the importance of the textile industry, Coach. So you're right there in the economic development of their states. So shout out to NC State's Wilson College of Textiles.
That's what I meant to say.
Well, I know North Carolina is like the furniture capital of the world.
Right.
So I was thinking maybe it was a furniture, textiles thing, but it's about the same.
Y'all all failed the test. But I appreciate Coach taking a try here. All right, so there's no question that this team has struggled offensively, these Tigers, Eric. So why don't you head over to that touch screen over there and kind of show us.
Show you a little bit?
What's been going wrong with Clemson? Watch your step, bro.
Yeah, well,
you fall, you'll go viral.
I think what's interesting. I'm an athlete, first of all.
Let them know.
I think what's interesting about this Clemson Tiger offense is, everybody wants to blame the offensive line very quickly, right? And say, oh, the offensive line, terrible play. And then it's quarterback, super easy, low-hanging fruit. But really, guys, it's the entire offense. And we're going to start with the offensive line, of course, here. You're going to look at the left guard specifically. And we see this, what is now a 3 technique. He started as a 5. So he started out around the tackle, slid inside. And what Clemson is going to do is a quick kind of stretch outside run play. And so what you want to see is this guy, now that he has a head-up nose in front of him and a 3 technique, the left guard, instead of just running, which is what you normally want to do on this play, he has to understand and learn that this turns into a board drill. This turns into one-on-one. I'm just taking this guy and we're going for a ride. That's a true freshman. He doesn't quite understand that yet, and you see what happens. He's going to slant inside. We're running nowhere. Luckily, Will Shipley is good enough to make a guy miss, pick up positive yards, so that's a bust. Turns out to be a decent play. Now what we're going to see here is an inside zone route. We've got great blocking up front, a little spillage by the center here, but what you want to see is this running back hit here or hit here and really just trust his route, trust his running lane here. He's going to see a little bit of color, which he does not like, sees that spillage right here, and he wants to bounce it, when instead, if he just trusted his run lane and just cut right here, run through that arm tackle. You're a big, strong running back. You can do that. You've proven it time and time again. Yet he wants to bounce. Now we're getting tackles for loss. We're losing plays. The very next play, it's 3rd and 11. Got to make a big-time play. We've got kind of a chaos package here where the offensive line is going to identify 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Those are our guys. That's who we're blocking. They do a tremendous job picking that up, and chaos is tough because, number one, you don't know who to target. You're not sure who's going to come. They do a great job protecting DJ. You see that beautiful pocket. Up top here, we've got a really good route from Joseph Ngata, and then let's see the result. A high pass. That's an easy first down. He got to the sticks. He did what he was supposed to do, and we have a high pass by the quarterback. So I showed you offensive line. I showed you running back. I showed you quarterback. Now let's look at the wide receivers. We've got a trip set to the left here. 1, 2, 3. What these guys normally do, Clemson runs this a lot. I'll call it a purple, and it's going to be a screen. We block here. We block here, and based off the sense of urgency that you're going to see coming off the line, you would expect this guy to come right there, catch the pass, go forward. The offensive line's running inside zone. They're getting off the ball. All 3 are blocking. It's always something with this Clemson Tiger offense right now that when you watch the tape, guys, it's just like all 11 are never on the same page, and we're seeing the direct results right here that looks like quarterback, looks like offensive line, but it is a unit problem with this offense.
Eric, you broke it down there beautifully, laid out kind of visually what some of those issues are. EJ, piggybacking off that, it seems like it's not fair to put all this on DJ by any stretch of the imagination, given Eric's illustration and breakdown there.
Yeah, I agree. And you heard Robert say it too. Sometimes DJ is trying to be perfect. I think a lot of times, especially with those high throws, he's zeroing in on a guy, locking in, trying to fire it in there, and it sells on him. So I think for him, you just got to relax, take what's coming within the game. I also feel like if they get that run game going, whether it's Will Shipley, Lynn-J Dixon, I think Lynn-J's actually in transfer portal, but I think they have to step up as well. And like Emac said, play as a unit. Don't try to put it all on the quarterback, especially right now. I think they were used to Trevor Lawrence being the eraser when things went bad. he can make up for it. DJ's not there yet. So just give him opportunities to create his confidence, and he'll be fine.
Everybody around him definitely has to do their job and give him that pocket. But when he does get that pocket and he does get an open receiver, he's got to not only complete the ball, but he's got to throw a bullseye. There's a difference between a completion where the ball might be low and slow a guy down, and a bullseye which hits a guy on the dead run and allows him to get the yards after the catch and make the explosive play. So when he has the chance, when everything's right, he's got to be right when it comes to accuracy.
I'll acknowledge, guys, I fall in this camp. It was unfair to DJ, the unrealistic expectations. EJ, you mentioned it may not have been the best thing for him to ball out like he did in those 2 games last year, because people go, oh, you better go do that every week this year, replacing a legend in Trevor Lawrence. It's not fair. I think about the pressure on DJ Uiagalelei. How much pressure, Eric, is he dealing with down there in Clemson?
Well, by some brands, he was deemed the face of college football. I mean, we're in a world now where national partnerships are a thing. And so now we're playing a young man that honestly isn't a true starter, got to start because of an injury, a sickness, and now is a true starter first year and was deemed the face, which is not saying he can't handle it, but we see the mental side of things and how much has that played a factor. And EJ, there's a difference between quarterback 1 and quarterback 2.
Absolutely, Ian. I think a lot of times when you are the backup, you kind of have that opportunity, that luxury of like, hey, you go out there and play, and the fans aren't expecting a lot because they don't know. And then you go out there and you ball out, play great in those 2 games versus BC, Notre Dame. Other expectations are through the roof for him this year. So I can only imagine what the offseason was like as far as pressure. And, again, I mean, he has to continue to learn. He doesn't have Travis Etienne. He doesn't have Cornell Powell. He doesn't have Amari Rodgers, like Robert said. So, I mean, at the same time, you're still dealing with young receivers. And, again, when Trevor was there, he was able to kind of be the eraser for those younger guys. So, it's kind of a, not just a DJ thing, it's a team thing.
Is it fair, Coach, this NIL world to say, guy's got so much on his plate with NIL? I mean, like Eric's saying, he's the face of stuff. Is that an added pressure, or is it like that's too lazy of an analysis to say?
No, I think it's added pressure. I mean, let's face it. Everybody's expecting wonderful things from this guy. He's expecting it. He's seen nothing but success since the minute he walked on that campus. Clemson wins. Clemson wins in style. The next man up is going to be the next great player at his position, whether it's quarterback or whatever position you want to say. But he's in the most dominant position of all positions in sport.
Right.
And everybody's counting on him to be the man. He's counting on himself to be the man, and all of a sudden things aren't going the way you want. And there's a heavy burden, I guarantee you. He may or may not admit it, but there's a heavy burden on that kid right now.
Well, in this Textile Bowl, pressure is evenly distributed because there's also pressure on the other side with NC State and Coach Dave Doran. Coach Dave Doran is winless versus Clemson entering this one. His 0-7 record versus the Tigers is the worst versus a single opponent during his tenure with the Wolfpack. Look, we know Coach Doran has done an exceptional job there at NC State. But when you do that, the fans start wanting more. Is it fair to say this is a needed game for the Wolfpack because they're in dire need of that signature winner?
I think so. I mean, when you look at it, not saying that he hasn't done a great job and he's got a ton of win for those guys and got them into nice bowl games and things of that nature, but when you look at the record versus teams that finished the year ranked, only 1 win. That comes from Liberty a year ago. And that's a little bit shocking. An NC State team, thanks to Brian Ives kind of researching this for us, they expect to beat those teams. They expect to have at least one kind of big upset. Everyone rallies around, gets that dub, and they just haven't quite had that yet.
Anybody that beats Clemson, that's a signature victory. Everybody's been trying. I mean, he's not the only guy 0-7 against Clemson. So when you show that graphic like, oh, man, he's not doing very good, well, not many people are doing well versus Clemson in the last 7 years. But again, Clemson looks vulnerable. Clemson looks beatable. And NC State, I would say this, if they had Peyton Wilson and Cyrus Fagan, it would help to have those spiritual leaders on that team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But hopefully they could get it done today.
And I said before the season started that this could be a trap game for Clemson, especially on the road, young quarterback, hostile environment. It's hard to play. I've lost a game there at NC State by 1 point, so whether you win by 1 or whether you win by 15, it doesn't matter. That's all NC State wants to do. And today's the day they could possibly do it.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most intriguing games in the season thus far. I mean, you can look at those Week 1 games, but Week 1's always going to be chaos, and they didn't go our way, obviously. But with this one, so much can be learned about both programs, both coaches, players within. So all eyes at 3:30 on that one in Raleigh, no question.
Carter-Finley Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina.
That place is going crazy right now.
Here comes the Wolfpack.
Florida State good one after a national title, and certainly are heavily favored in this game.
Torrey Holt back at his own 28-yard line. Still on his feet is Torrey Holt. Going to cut it back. He's going to score. Barnett, there's Holt out there, makes the catch. Torrey Holt to the end zone. The Wolfpack just upset the #2 team in the nation.
NC State takes the field. They hope to shock the Clemson Tigers. Glennon looks for Brian. Touchdown NC State. Boyd hit from behind, the ball's out. Breezy off the right side. Touchdown. Holy cow.
#3 Florida State taking on North Carolina State.
Mike Glennon, here is his opportunity. A national stage.
They blocked it. They got a piece. And it's 4th and goal for the upset. Glennon, touchdown Wolfpack. Glennon on a defining game-winning drive.
EJ, Coach, who did y'all upset, man? Another rewind to Florida State losses.
Like, we want a lively show, and then you show us getting our butts beat. What do you expect?
EJ?
We gotta be professional.
Well, Coach, you know what? I do expect. They always show Florida State losing up here on this ACC network. I haven't seen one game of Coach whooping somebody's butt. When I was there whooping somebody's tail, and, you know.
Can I address the
14 years in the top 4, okay? So something good happened during the time.
It was fun to join y'all. I was that 11 team, so. Happy to be a part of the club.
That was a really good full screen, so I am going to mention it. NC State is still searching for their first signature win under Coach Dorr, and they're 0-10 in their last 10 games versus top 10 opponents. Yes, we're going to bring this back. Now you guys have aired your fair grievances. The last such win versus top 10 opponent was 2012 against #3 team. It rhymes with Schmorda Schmate, all right? That's all I'll say there. So I won't say Florida State to offend anybody further. It is kind of crazy, though. We keep getting you guys.
Yeah, I mean, every recurring thing.
Well, it's a sign that you're a great team when every once in a while somebody wins, it becomes a big story 10, 20 years later.
I'll tell you what could become a big story. If the Wolfpack at home beat Clemson here, knowing the history in front of them, EJ, it feels like this is the best shot in recent history. If NC State is able to do it, what do you see early on in this game?
I think it's the defense for NC State. They're only allowing about 5.5 yards per play, and I think Clemson's averaging about 5.5, 5.7, so that's kind of the difference right there. I think if the defense can make a stand, try to cause some eye violations for DJ Uyunglele, dirty it up for him a little bit, that could be their advantage.
I think Leary has to break the cycle of not handling pressure. He struggles under pressure. He struggles under zone coverage. They're going to bring pressures and play zone behind it.
Pressures, yep.
Can you do a better job than you've been doing all season long? We're going to find out.
Check one of my answers, EJ. Check the other answer, Coach Rick. I'm excited to watch this game. I can't wait to see it. I think the Wolfpack, not that they have to play perfect, but they're going to have to play pretty close just because of how elite Clemson's defense is. You're going to have to execute at a high level. You're going to have to be able to not make any mistakes. And if you can capitalize, if given extra opportunities in good field position, the thing with Clemson's offense, though, this might be the game. Is this the game they figure it out and get going?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like it could go one of legitimately two ways, that this one is incredibly close or Clemson blows the doors off and because we're waiting for that game from DJ Uyunglele. For some reason, Coach, I just don't feel like there's any in between.
Right. I think you're right. I think it's going to be one or the other. I really want to see Clemson explode sooner or later and beat Clemson again offensively. But, I like watching close games. I like watching competitive games. And let's face it, if NC State found a way to win it, that would turn the league on its head.
Much appreciated, JJ. How about we go 25 miles down the road to Raleigh for more on Clemson and NC State with Quint Kesnick.
Thank you, Jordan. Clemson brings its dominating defense to Raleigh. They haven't given up a touchdown this season. And the Tigers clearly are the gold standard in the ACC, having won the last 6 titles. The offense has its issues, the O-line and the lack of explosive plays, leading Dabo Swinney to tell us they are still a work in progress. If you're a Wolfpack fan, you hope that progress doesn't come on Saturday in a game that could become very defensive, dominated by 2 great defenses. Maybe special teams will make the difference. Carter-Finley will be electric. 58,000 fans, they sound like 100,000 fans. Dave Doran telling us he doesn't care about attendance, he cares about participation.
The marquee game of the day here. many would argue. Clemson and NC State. People talking about this a gettable opportunity for the Pack, but again, it is Clemson. And you look at Dabo 10-1 in his last 11 versus the Pack.
Yeah, Jordan, I really like how you laid it out for all of us, saying, hey, this is either going to be a wide margin of victory leaning towards the Tigers, or it's going to be a close game. And I think that the Clemson offense figures it out. I think we finally see those skill players put it together. Quarterback does his thing. Clemson gets this win.
The only reason I'm not picking NC State is because Peyton Wilson's not playing in this game. If he was playing, I think he would be that impact player to give them the edge over what they're doing defensively, so I'm going to go with Clemson.
If something doesn't good happen to Clemson's offense early, I think they could press. I do think Clemson will pull it out in a tight ball game.
It feels like there's a lot of pressure on Clemson, obviously, to try and make it back to the CFP. Already taken a loss. Also feels like, Eric, there's a lot of pressure on the Pack here to finally get over that hump and say we can play with the top teams in the country and in this conference.
Well, I think there is this confidence from this Clemson team right now when you see how they're playing. If you're NC State and you're saying, okay, this is the year. If there's been a year in these last 7 or 8, this is the one with them not producing the way that they think they can, not the way that they know that they can, and can we take advantage of it? So I think from a fan's perspective, there certainly is that outside noise, and then just internally, as a player, as a coach, you're like, man, can we take advantage of this opportunity?
Yeah, and I think the big key for the offense for NC State, don't turn the ball over. So, I think you have a great offensive line, great running backs, Ricky Person Jr., Bam Knight. Give those guys opportunities. Of course, Devin Leary, he's going to find his way in this game. I'm going to say it's going to be in the second, third, fourth quarter where he starts to get hot, find his rhythm. But I think the first couple snaps or the first couple series, you really want to own the line of scrimmage because we all know Clemson's defense can get after you.
I hate to say it, but I think Clemson is the type of team at this point offensively that they need something good to happen early. I think if they have a couple drives with no points or maybe a turnover or something like that, I think they'll start pressing and have a long, hard day.
Will Shipley, get a look at him on the field. He will get the start at running back. He'll get the lion's share of the carries there. A lot of familial ties there to NC State and that Wolfpack program. What are your expectations for a guy like that? Because the run game has been severely lacking for Clemson as well.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. He's kind of been this super freshman in regards to nothing really phases him, and he's ready for the moment. He had 21 carries a week ago. When's the last time we've seen a Clemson running back? Even Travis Etienne, one of the best ever, never got touches like that. And so is this moment now that he's running back one, are we going to see some nerves? Are we going to see some angst? That'll be interesting to see on top of going home with, I'm sure he has 30-plus family members there.
That's a big deal.
What will it look like?
That's a big deal. I mean, to play in front of your family and to play at a school that you may have thought growing up you might have gone to, it's a big deal for him, and we'll see how he handles it.
DJ Uiagalelei, Heisman favorite in certain circles coming into the season, all the big NIL deals, replacing a legend in Trevor Lawrence, but everyone said, well, look what he did in those 2 games last year. They'll be fine. He struggled a little bit, but he's young. Realistic expectations, EJ, from Big Cinco today.
Yeah, don't try to be Superman. And what I mean by that is don't, make the big play and expect, hey, I got to force this ball in here because, we're down or because it's early in the game, so I want to give, Justin Ross an opportunity. Yeah, you can have a chance to do a 50-50 ball, but I think for him, he wants confidence. You just go out there and just get 5 completions in a row, get a couple first downs, extend drives, then go out there and either get a touchdown or a field goal. So if I'm DJ, I'm going into this game with a fresh mind, a fresh, a breath of fresh air, understand that I don't have to do a lot. I got a lot of great players around me, and let those guys just distribute the ball and let those guys do their job too.
And another important thing to look at this game is with this Clemson offensive line, they are going to have to protect him because this NC State team does not have an elite pass rush. I believe they're amongst the bottom 3 in regards to sack production, rush production, hurrying the quarterback. And so if they're able to get after DJ, then it's just like, man, these guys are really struggling. So expect to see kind of this standard that was talked about. Matt Bockhorst went and spoke about it. We have to pick this up and get this going. That'll be interesting to see.
Do you expect to see DJ as more of a runner potentially in this game as well? I feel like that's something we've seen that's been lacking.
Well, I think if it presents itself, he'll be more apt to go. I think when you look at tape and say, hey, DJ, look, we had to call a QB draw for you to finally run the ball and get 13 yards or whatever it was. There are times in a 3-man rush, everybody's covered. You got to go. You got to let them know you can run, because if not, you're going to see a bunch of 8 droppers like over and over and over. It's going to wear you out. Most passing plays are designed to play against a 4-man rush. When you start getting 3-man rush consistently and 8 guys in coverage, then all those windows in the zone coverages to get squeezed so tight. It's very difficult.
Want to update you guys really quickly is there's a lot of activity going on. BC in overtime. Zay Flowers, 10-yard touchdown reception in overtime. So it's BC that strikes first blood. And knowing the rules there, Missouri will have an opportunity to respond with a touchdown of their own. Also a note worth noting, Dabo Swinney against NC State, 10-1 his last 11 tries. He's winning those games by an average margin of plus 15. So it won't even be close, I think is a fair question as we talk so much about the package.
And also, let's be clear, DJ Uiagalelei is still extremely talented. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might have been struggling these first 3 weeks of the season. Everybody does. Nobody's perfect, but let's not forget what he did last year, guys. I mean, for all we know, this could be the explosion game for him, right? So then we're all talking about how amazing he is again. So I think we just need to be a little patient.
Well, but it comes with the territory. You're at Clemson. You're at a national contender. You know, everybody expects you to be great, and you played great. So, I mean, it's part of the job description. If you're that guy, you're gonna get it if things aren't going well.
That's why we expect so much from Eric up here at the desk. He's a Clemson guy. Like, we expect him to deliver every week. And for the record, you do, my friend.
Thank you.
The gold standard of the ACC, the Clemson Tigers, clawing into town, laying claim to their longevity of dominance across the conference. But here in Raleigh, the NC State Wolfpack finds strength in the pack, poised and ready to paint another picture as they ready for a howling and sizzling good time. Welcome, everyone, to Carter-Finley Stadium for this pivotal and critical ACC battle between Clemson at 2-1 and the North Carolina State Wolfpack also coming in at 2-1. This their first conference game of the season. The electricity and the opportunity is tangible and palpable in the air here at a near sold-out Carter-Finley. North Carolina State has won the toss, deferring to the second half. Gill will kick off, and Will Shipley, number 1, is back deep for the Clemson Tigers. Clemson coming into the game after a very unconvincing win last week against Georgia Tech at home in Clemson. And we are underway. Shipley watches it go overhead. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Clemson. Starting quarterback for the Tigers, DJ Uiagalelei. 2 starts a season ago in relief of Trevor Lawrence. 3 starts this season, completing 59% of his passes. But the big story about him is that this offense of the Tigers has yet to really find its footing and find that explosiveness that has been their trademark over the last several years. 1st down and 10 from the 25. Shipley getting his first start in the backfield. Uiagalelei gets it out quickly, complete to Joseph Ngata, working against Pitts Jr. Pickup of 7 on the play. Dabo Swinney, his 19th year overall at Clemson, his 13th season as their head coach. They come in at 2-1 and trying to answer some questions on the offensive side of the football. 2nd down and 3. This is going to be a free one. Pass is caught by Ngata. And if that flag is against the Wolfpack, that'll stand.
I think they're going to say that the play was dead, and they're not going to give him the play.
It is so loud, you can't hear the whistle.
Defense number 11, unabated, the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. The penalty results in a 1st down.
As you can see right here, the safety tries to come off the edge, and he goes a little early. DJ Uiagalelei does a good job with the snap count.
There was no play on the play.
As I said, there was no play there. But I think what NC State is seeing is that whenever you get this nub tight end like they had on the last play call, that's a heavy RPO run set for Clemson. So they're trying to bring some pressure to put that out.
Uiagalelei back to pass again. And incomplete, intended for Justin Ross. Good pressure up front by Corey Durden. Meanwhile, the head coach in his 9th season on the sidelines for North Carolina State, Dave Doeren. Opportunity has been the buzzword all week. And he said that welcome everyone to Carter-Finley Stadium at North Carolina State as Clemson rolls into town, looking to make it 9 straight wins against the Wolfpack. That's Will Shipley on the opening drive of the ball game for the Tigers. Dave Doeren, the head coach of North Carolina State, has said, listen, if you're talking about winning the ACC and getting a seat at the table, it begins by beating Clemson. We get a flag down on the field.
12-man formation, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It is deafeningly loud down on the field. And up here in our booth.
Yeah, this is the home field advantage that Dave Doeren told us he wanted to have. He didn't just want the fans to be here, he wanted them to be engaged. And boy, oh boy, are they engaged right now.
Dabo Swinney told us this week in our meetings with him that they better get their stuff together this week because this is a very experienced Wolfpack team in a daunting environment. 3rd down and 10. Uiagalelei a little bit hot. Incomplete, intended for Shipley. And they'll have to punt. Good heat up front by Savion Jackson, number 90. And Wills Spires comes in to punt. Thayer Thomas back there standing on his own 30-yard line for North Carolina State.
Jonesy, that's definitely not the way Clemson wanted to start off this game. They've been struggling on offense, and right there they go 3 and out on the first possession.
A high punt. Bounces at the 30. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 31. This is college football on ESPN, delivered by Papa John's. Folks, you're watching the ACC on ESPN. Let's go down to Quinn.
Mark, this building has been buzzing for the last 45 minutes. These fans are going sideways. This is Clemson's first road test of the season, and the noise already has had a huge impact. Dave Doeren saying, I don't care about attendance, I want participation. Well, they came up big on that last series. These fans, maybe only 58,000, it sounds like 100 grand.
Sure does. 1st down and 10. Leary gets it out quickly and completes it to Emezi. And Mecca Emezi working against Nolan Turner and picks up the 1st down, a gain of 12 on the play. Out to the 43-yard line. 1st down and 10 for North Carolina State.
And what you saw there was they gave him free access to the boundary. And when we talked to Devin Leary this week, he said, anytime they give me free access, I'm going to take that time and time again because they want to work the ball methodically down the field.
Completing 67% of his passes coming into the game. A dangerous toss, incomplete. Intended for Carter on the play. Mark Jones alongside Robert Griffin III. Hey, college football is back, folks. Quint Kesnick down in the field. North Carolina State talked about not overcoaching Leary at quarterback. What does that look like on the field for them to be successful?
Yeah, offensive coordinator Tim Beck said if you give coaches enough time, they'll mess it up. So they don't want to overcoach their players. They're going to give him answers built into the offense, and he can make those decisions. So his decision-making today is paramount, and he can help lead his team to victory.
A diligent worker running over the locker room and his teammates. Knight, who's had a couple of 100-yard-plus rushing games already this year, picks up 3. Let's take a look at your keys to this game, Robert.
Yeah, when we talk about the keys to the game, it's all about adaptation. For Clemson, they have to make better in-game adjustments when defenses show them something they weren't expecting. When we talk about points, well, both defenses aren't giving up a lot. So which offense will be able to get it rolling? And then we talk about stretching it out. NC State loves to run the stretch zone and do it with tempo. So Clemson has to stop it with penetration and setting the edge in the run game.
This Clemson defense has been intransigent here in the early part of the college football season. They have yet to allow an offensive touchdown this season. 3rd and 7 from the 46.
Play game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, Coach Doran won't be happy about that in his 9th season.
Well,
make it a 3rd down and 12. Hope that noise didn't work against them that time.
I was going to say, I don't think anybody has a play for 3rd and 12. And obviously, as an offense, you don't want to just keep shooting yourself in the foot and putting yourself in bad down and distances, especially against this ferocious Clemson defense.
Saw that graphic a moment ago. North Carolina State has not won against a top 10 team under Doran. On the edge, complete to Carter, made a nice move, but is brought down at the 47 by Andrew Booth, one of their best cover corners for Clemson, and it's 4th down coming up. The Tigers defense gets the stop on the play.
Andrew Booth is one of their better tackling corners as well. We saw him in the Georgia game earlier in the year come up and make some open field tackles, so good for him. They're going to try to challenge those guys today. They don't feel like them. Maybe they feel like their matchups outside are pretty good.
Well, Imezi is a tall receiver at 6'3". Carter on the other side at the same size. A high punt. Going to bounce at the 6. And harmlessly roll into the end zone. 53 yards in all. It'll come out 1st down and 10. They don't want attendance. They want participation. Back after this.
Matt Berry in our college football studios with your Rocket Mortgage studio update. This should put it on ice. Graham Mertz takes all day to throw that out route. Jack Kaiser picks it for 6. Now 34-13. It is all Irish in Chicago.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line for Clemson. Handoff is to Shipley, falling forward to the 25-yard line. A highly touted recruit, 5-star recruit out of Weddington, North Carolina. Won a state championship right here on this field. In fact, the last time Shipley was in Carter-Finley, he was racking up about 250 yards and 4 touchdowns in his high school championship game. He was the MVP of that contest. DJ looking to pass. Got away momentarily, delivers a strike to Ngata for the 1st down.
Oh, and those are the types of plays that DJ Uiagalelei has to make, right? Those are the special plays, right? Stepping up in the pocket, avoids the rusher that Will Shipley misses, and then drops a dime, ooh, to Joseph Ngata on the sideline. That's what we want to see from DJ Uiagalelei.
Completed 75% of his passes last week against Georgia Tech. Little receiver screen to the edge. Nowhere to go that time. Ladson Jr. stopped up by Tanner Ingle. Good pursuit. And that Wolfpack secondary. Flag down on the play. Boy, there've been a bunch of them so far.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 10 of the defense for taunting. It's number 10's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul. The penalty is 15 yards. 1st down.
Taunting. Moves the ball down inside the 35 to the 32-yard line.
I'd watch the sweep to the field here. They like to run it with this wing player and the running back.
Uiagalelei throws incomplete. Hit his receiver, Bo Collins, in the hands. It'll be 2nd down and 10. You know what I always say, Robert? Don't play sports if you're going to get your feelings hurt.
Right.
I love talk back and forth. I played collegiate basketball. I wasn't hooping if somebody wasn't talking junk to me, or vice versa.
It's that taunting rule, right? But there, he was a little excessive with it. He came back a couple times and tried to chirp in his ear.
2nd down and 10.
DJ, tons of time into the end zone, caught and single touchdown. Justin Ross got his feet in bounds, and the DJ is spinning for Clemson.
Oh my, Justin Ross with the toe drag swag in the back of the end zone. And I can tell you what, guys, DJ Uiagalelei in this possession right here looked like the DJ Uiagalelei that we saw last year when he started those 2 games. He does an amazing job of extending the play, right? Going outside the pocket and gets his eyes downfield and drops a laser beam to Justin Ross in the back of the end zone.
The extra point good. He said, it starts with me, DJ said. I have to be better, and so far, he has been better, Robert.
Oh, yes, he has. And Clemson fans are the happiest people on the planet. As you see right here, Justin Ross going up for the catch and getting his feet in there. Oh, he didn't need one, he got 2. What a play.
ESPN College Football is delivered by the Shakaroni from Papa John's. Pizza with a purpose. Order today.
This area also known as the City of Oaks, as the streets lined with a lot of oak trees and pastoral beauty in the area, very bucolic. And there's a guy that standing tall like an oak and well rooted and grounded right now. Uiagalelei, a.k.a. Big Cinco. He says you can call me Big Cinco, Big 5. Knight and Houston back for the kickoff. Robert, tell us what was key on this touchdown pass and catch.
This is all DJ Uiagalelei. Right here, you got the circle on Justin Ross at the beginning of the play. As you see DJ drop back in the pocket, he sees nothing's there. He goes outside, right? Uses his legs to extend the play, keeping his eyes downfield, being patient, and this is what he sees. You throwing that ball? I don't know, but DJ's got the arm to make the play, and boy, did he deliver a laser beam all the way to the back of the end zone. Those are plays that you cannot teach, and that's the plays that DJ Uiagalelei has to make.
His second touchdown pass of the season, 7th of his career, coming back the other way. This is Bam Knight running into heavy traffic, picking up 1 on the play. Andrew Booth with good run support off the corner to make the tackle for the Tigers. It'll be 2nd down and long. Devin Leary coming into the game, completing 67% of his passes. There's a look at the impressive stat. The only FBS team not to allow an offensive touchdown going into game 4.
And if Clemson's defense wants to continue doing that.
Leary gets it out. Pass complete. That's going to be a 1st down to Imezi. Well, Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One is a Big 12 statement game in Norman. West Virginia quarterback Jared Dagey leads the Mountaineers against Heisman hopeful Spencer Rattler. Number 4 Oklahoma, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. Flag down on the play. Brazee and Spector on the stop.
Roughing the passer, number 10, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's going to go against Spector for roughing Leary, the quarterback.
Yeah, he comes in late. I mean, come on now. Come on, I'm a quarterback. I'm a quarterback, and that's a little suspect, I'm not going to lie. Balin Spector's probably excited he didn't get to play last week. He's back out there on the field. Just ease up, young brother. That way they can't give the NC State offense an opportunity to get a fresh set of downs.
Looked like he slammed on the brakes pretty good, but I guess not.
I thought he did too.
8:17 to go in the first quarter. Off the first down, the penalty. Handoff between the tackles down to the 46. That was Zonovan Knight, a.k.a. Bam Knight, stopped up by Mickens. Knight had 103 yards rushing against Furman last week. 2nd down and 7. And look at that, another flag. We've had a proclivity of penalties.
Encroachment, offense, lining up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Wow. Well, Clemson is 60-2 when scoring first, going back to 2015. Dabo's 13th season as head coach, started as an assistant. Prior to that, a player at Alabama. He's built one of the real behemoths in college football. Look at this.
Snap infraction, offense number 50. 5-yard penalty. So second down.
Talk to me, Robert Griffin, about these opportunities that are going the wrong way right now.
It seems like when we talked to NC State, they wanted to confuse Clemson and DJ Uiagalelei, but they're coming out here and they're shooting themselves in the foot and moving backwards, and it seems like they are the ones who are confused. They got to get this under wrap if they want a chance to knock off number 9 Clemson.
7 penalties already. 2nd and 17. Leary out of the backfield tonight, nowhere to go. Miles Murphy makes the stop.
Dave Doran telling us that we have to make our layups, and self-inflicted pre-snap penalties on offense. That's an example of being rejected as you're trying to make a layup. What you're seeing from the Wolfpack, though, is a variety of tempos. You got this sugar huddle right now. Well, they'll try to get up to the line of scrimmage and get the play called as quickly as possible to keep Clemson defense on their heels. You're also seeing a little tempo after they make a first down.
Well, it's interesting, Quint, too. Robert Venables likes to get his calls in late, so there's a little chess match going on between offensive coordinator Tim Beck and Brent Venables. The timing of the plays getting in, a little receiver screen on the edge, complete to Imezi. And Imezi is brought down by Booth Jr. And 4th down coming up. Not a great sequence for North Carolina State. And Brent Venables, well, this guy is as hyper as a triple shot of espresso. I mean, you are never going to see him stoic or calm. Rarely do you see him like that on the sidelines. He's a portrait of energy. 4th down and 13. Trenton Gill into punt, averaging about 42 per punt on the season. Nose of the football down, an end-over-end punt. And it caroms into the end zone. It'll come back out 1st down and 10 for DJ, who threw a touchdown pass on his last sequence on the field. Clemson's offense showing good signs of life when we come back to Carter-Finley. You know what, if you're part of the Clemson traveling party, folks, you got to be all in on football. You live, breathe, and you got to throw it as well.
He's got decent form there, not too bad. You know, he's got a gun. He can throw however he wants.
DJ throws it out of bounds. And we saw security detail right there throwing it with authority.
Oh, yeah. He said, Coach, put me in.
What do you think of his form? Tell me about his form,
I don't really like the elbows out. You know, they teach that to these high school kids sometimes, but look at the way he's walking away right there. Broad shoulders. He felt good about that pass.
Hey, just another Clemson completion. 5:37 to go in the first quarter. Tigers up by a touchdown. Uiagalelei hands it off to Kobe Pace. Kobe Pace and Will Shipley going to get the majority of the carries today. Lynn J. Dixon into the transfer portal off of last week.
And what you've seen from DJ Uiagalelei today is that he is making the plays, right? These aren't called plays that he's going out there and delivering on. He's breaking the pocket, using his legs a little bit more, and bringing excitement to this Clemson offense. But they do have to be able to run the football effectively. So we got to see if that offensive line can start hunkering down.
DJ incomplete at the 28-yard line, broken up nicely by number 13 Baker Williams, intended for Justin Ross. So DJ now 5 of 9 passing after that incompletion. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
What we've seen from Clemson is that when they have the broken plays and DJ can use his feet, they're being effective moving the ball down the field. But when they're lining up and just running their offense, you know, going through their reads, they're not being effective enough right now. And that's a testament to NC State and what they're doing on defense.
Here's the punt. Derek Thomas back there and at the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. Julian Gray fielding it. Some pertinent storylines coming into this next to last weekend in September. Three-ranked teams losing there, Robert.
Yeah, what's going on in the ACC? Oh, man, FSU fans, they are just in the dumps right now with what their team is doing. And then you got these key guys getting injured, and you just don't know. Right. Is the ACC going to be able to get into that college football playoff with the teams that they have right now at the top? Clemson's their best shot. We'll see if they can keep things rolling today.
Tigers surely going to miss Davis today. Good tackle by Booth. Person on the reception out of the backfield. Andrew Booth has been busy making a bunch of tackles already today. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Tyler Davis, number 13, absent today for the Tigers, out with a biceps injury, underwent surgery after that Georgia Tech game, but they've got some dudes up front still with Brazee and Arroyo. Kind of rolled off the tongue.
That was good. That was good. I had to hold the laughter in there, man. But Tyler Davis is definitely an NFL player. They're going to miss him.
Snap infraction. Offense number 50. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
What's that, number 8? The 9th penalty, 8th penalty of the first quarter? Wow.
I mean, OC Tim Beck, he said, don't overthink it. And right now, they seem to be overthinking it with this snap count. I understand why they're doing it, because they want to throw off that dynamic, dominant defensive line that Clemson has. But if you continue to move backwards, nobody has plays for 1st and 2nd and 15.
Person in the backfield. Takes the handoff and makes it back to the 45-yard line. Picked up 4 on the play. Ricky Person at Wake Forest, North Carolina, came into the ball game today with 165 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. Last week, singled out for his proficient blocking against Furman, keeping that quarterback's jersey clean. Devin Leary, you like that, Robert, right?
Yeah, we don't like a dirty jersey now.
Under 3.5 to go, and look at this. Penalty number 9.
Offside. Defense number 11. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Just as I was talking about not using the snap count so you don't go backwards, Devin Leary said, hey, RG, I got this. Uses it again and gets Brian Brazee to jump off sides and put them in a more favorable 3rd down here on 3rd and 6.
Brazee leads that defense of Clemson in sacks so far this year. North Carolina State has to get to the 44 for the 1st down. Leary has time, complete over the middle, and a 1st down. They'll move the chains. Carter with the catch and run.
Leary does a beautiful job here of working through his progressions, right? We talked to offensive coordinator Tim Beck, and he told us they were going to do more drop-back passes with pure progressions because of the confusion that Clemson defense likes to do with their disguises and their 2 highs and their 1 highs and their man coverages. So Leary did an amazing job of working through his progressions, delivering the easy ball for the 1st down.
1st down and 10. Leary off the play fake, completes it again. Emezi picks up another 1st down. Came into the game as their leading receiver with 14 catches for 186 yards.
So here you got Emezi, does a nice little sit route, breaks 1 tackle and gets vertical upfield, and those hidden yardage right there after the catch, those are going to put them in better situations. Now they can possibly take a shot here at the end zone, which we know they have wanted to do the entire game to truly challenge the corners of Clemson.
Leary pretty hot, 8 of 9 for 45 yards. Emezi is his self-described security blanket. This time he hands it off. Great balance by Person Jr., but stopped up. .147 to go. Emezi on the sidelines, and now wonder if he comes back in on this play.
I mean, if I'm the quarterback, I want him back out there, right?
Hardest worker on the team.
That's what Devin Leary said. He said he's the hardest working guy. He's the first guy in. I'm sure he means with him, of course, right? But he works hard, and that makes him reliable on game days. Someone that he's constantly looking for.
He'll sit this play out, as he will. 2nd down and 8. Looks like a double pass. Downfield, into traffic, and nobody was fooled by that one. Thayer Thomas threw it. And they were fortunate not to have that intercepted. Ricky Person had 3 guys defending him.
Yeah, you say three guys, but he had an entire team meeting over there, right? He threw that there. Thomas said, oh, it's my time. I'm going to have my glory moment. Man, they're very, very blessed that that was not intercepted.
3rd and 8, and look at that. Flag number 10. Trey Williams moving a little bit early on that defensive front for the Tigers.
Offside. Defense number 8. Offside penalty. Third down.
Some of the greatest pass rushers ever say those offsides penalties, those are just the cost of doing business.
Okay.
But when you start putting them back to back to back, okay, now you got to calm down, guys, because you're hurting yourself and you're helping the offense move further and further down the field.
And the cost of business goes wrong. 3rd and 3. Into a tight window, complete to Thomas. First down. He beat Spector on the play. A methodical drive. This is a 6-yard gain on the play for the first down. Down to the 15. 7 plays, 39 yards. Quick toss to the wide side of the field. Person found a crease and moves the pile just inside the 10-yard line.
Clemson's defense is swarming to the ball. You just saw about 8 or 9 hats right there. But even with all those guys playing hard and getting to the ball, NC State is just chipping away, right? They're just chopping the wood, moving closer and closer to the end zone. Let's see if they can get it in and be the first team to score a touchdown this year against Clemson's defense.
On 2nd and 4. Goes into the end zone, had one-on-one. And Mezzi was working against Andrew Booth. And it'll be 3rd down and 4. Booth is their best cover corner in the secondary. Had that memorable one-handed pick last year. Made a lot of the SportsCenter top 10s.
There's a lot of people out there who hate the red zone fade, and this is why. A lot of times with the quarterback, you have to throw a catchable ball. Okay. Leary didn't do it there, and I don't know why. Because Mezzi is a guy who makes those types of catches. Just give him an opportunity. Let him go up and be strong like he is.
He's the security blanket. Lined up to the top of your screen again. Thomas in motion. This time, caught, touchdown! Emeka Emezi. That's the first offensive touchdown scored against Clemson this season. With 5 seconds to go into their 4th game of the season.
Rolling on the field, catch for a touchdown. The play is under further review.
If it stands, it'll be Emezi's first touchdown catch of the season. Let's take another look here, Robert.
I felt like Devin Leary was listening to us up here, right? He gave him an opportunity to make the catch, right? A catchable ball. We just got to see if that ball touched the ground. As you saw right there as he stood up, his hand looked like it was right underneath it. Oh, got him in. Doesn't move. No, that's a touchdown,
that's
baby.
A catch. That's a catch. His hand underneath the ball. This is a better angle of it.
He caught that with his face mask almost.
Hey, faces count too.
Look at that, man. We just talked about it. Give him a catchable ball. Let him go and make that contested catch. And Emezi just showing off for his people, right? Wow. Here it is one more time. Catches it, puts it against his face mask. Oh! Look at that. It's a game of inches, right? Oh.
Great effort.
What?
By Emeka Emezi.
He must be a Giants fan.
Tyree, right?
There you go. David Tyree with the...
Used his face mask to catch the ball in the Giants Super Bowl victory. And
after further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, the touchdown will stand after the review. And the Wolfpack a point away from tying this game at 7 apiece, trying to snap that this 8-game losing streak against Clemson. Dave Doran has been talking about this being a huge opportunity for them this week. Chance to improve to 3-1 on the season as we check in with the studio.
All right, guys, want to check in on some other ACC action across the country. Matt Berry with a studio update. Malik Cunningham takes it in 4 yards himself. It is all Cardinals, 17-0 Florida State, or Louisville rather, over Florida State on ESPN2.
All right, Matt, back here. Coach Doran really loving on his players on the sidelines. Had a big old smile on his countenance on the sidelines. Leary, a group dap up there. Yeah.
Dave Doran talked with us during the week, and he said offensively they have to be patient, protect the ball, and cash in on their opportunities. Don't just make the routine play, make the special play. And that right there was a special play by Emezi and Leary.
He's very fond of using basketball analogies, and he said, we're going to have to hit a bunch of threes with guys hanging all over us. And that, as you said, would probably be considered one of them. Tied at 7 with 5 seconds to go on that last drive. North Carolina State very efficient in their distribution, running, passing, and then finding their big target in the end zone for the touchdown. And you think about it, Robert, Devin Leary hasn't played a lot of football. Only 4 games last year before he was injured. 3 games this season. But really, well, what do you think about it? How comfortable does he look back there today?
He looks comfortable, right? He said this game is important because it's the next one. And he's really grateful for his injury last year. And we can talk about that a little bit more after this play.
DJ is going to keep it himself and pick up 2. Well, Robert, we'll talk a little bit more about Leary and his comfort level in the second quarter, because the first 15 minutes here are in the books as North Carolina State tries to end that odious losing streak. Back with more right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Carter-Finley Stadium, Raleigh, North Carolina. And some impressive artwork in and around Carter-Finley Stadium. This is what it looked like yesterday, and then today they just continue. Our man, Raleigh Renoir, or maybe it's Rodin, our painter down there, doing a great job on the artwork. 2nd down and 8. DJ pulls the trigger. Is it picked off? No, it's incomplete.
I think he was out of bounds.
Tanner Ingle right there had a beat on that ball. It'll be 3rd down and 8 coming up.
Yeah, this is something that DJ's got to work on. He's continually staring down his receivers. This ball should have been thrown at least a half second to a second before that, if at all. And he's getting lucky there. Tanner Ingle wasn't able to get his foot down. Otherwise, that'd be going the other way.
DJ received his first Power 5 offer in the 6th grade. A precocious talent. Little blitz coming. Uyunglele stopped up about 2 yards shy of that first down. Good tackle by Pitts Jr. And it's 4th down. Yeah, he'll let everybody know that wants to watch and listen as they get the stop. 3 and out for the Tigers offense.
It's 2 things that I don't like there, right? One I like and one I don't like.
What's that?
Straight stem routes, right? No creativity in the structure of the offense to give DJ an opportunity to make some reads. The thing I do like is the fact that he used his legs there, and he hasn't been doing that early on in the season.
4th down and 2. And the second quarter begins the same way the first quarter did, with flags.
On start. Offense, number 16. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Okay, we're at 11 penalties already. I'm going to set the over-under at about 20, Robert.
I don't know. Maybe the refs just like the camera time, man. You know, these guys work out. They want to see do these symbols and stuff. And they got to get their camera time too. I get it.
Take the over. Thayer Thomas back deep, standing at his own 30. came after it a little bit. And a high punt comes down at about the 19, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Wolfpack as we go back to the studio.
All right, guys, checking into that vintage Southwest Conference, Texas A&M, Arkansas from back in the day at Jerry World. Check out KJ Jefferson on a dime to Treylon Burks. 85 yards for the touchdown. Woo Pig up 10-0 end of the first quarter.
Arkansas up 10-0.
We're just watching here to see if the punter actually got hit, and I mean, it was a little bit of an acting job there. He kind of fell into the contact, but I don't blame him for trying.
Might be a theater major.
That was good.
1st and 10 from the 20. Larry hands it off to Person Jr. Nice gain of about 9 on the play. Well, we saw the mural a little bit earlier. There it is. What a beautiful backdrop here at Carter-Finley Stadium. Wonderful artwork. Strength in the pack. Strength in numbers. This team galvanized and ready for their opportunity. Leary with time. Is going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 30-yard line by Skalski. Remember, it was him that made the touchdown-saving tackle last week, late in the game against Georgia Tech, and we had a great visit with him earlier this week. He decided to return because he was injured last year. Didn't really finish the way that he wanted to. Had a little surgery during the offseason, but he's really the heartbeat of that Tigers defense.
He is, and Jamie Skalski is a guy that he's hard to not like, right? He's a little undersized, but he's athletic enough to go out there, and he plays instinctually because of that.
1st and 10. Leary bounces the pass incomplete to Lassane. You could just call him 10 rings. This guy's got a ring for every finger. ACC championships, national championships, bowl championships and victories. And I mean, that's a resume, an impressive one.
Hey, winning rubs off, right? It rubs off on everybody around you. And Jamie Skalski's done a lot of that, and he's a great leader on this team. Plays with everything he has in him. And even on that touchdown-saving stop he had on 4th down last week, he puts his body on the line for his team.
On 2nd and 10, they're going to hand it off to Person Jr. Stopped up right near the line of scrimmage by Skalski. Quint?
He's got no off button, and he can diagnose plays like you wouldn't believe. Says he listens to music to stay calm. During the week, he told us, I got a little Coldplay. Today, pregame, what did he tell us, guy? Dangerous.
Dangerous. Yeah, he was feeling it in pregame when we saw him down in the field. And looks like he's upset about something. He was holding his shoulder.
Yeah, it seems like he's got a stinger. He had one at the end of the game last week, so let's hope that he's okay. This Clemson defense needs him.
On 3rd and 10. And Leary's going to be sacked at about the 19-yard line by Thomas. Xavier Thomas out of Florence, South Carolina, makes it 4th down, and North Carolina State will have to punt. You are looking at one of the best, most elite defenses in college football. Thomas, Brazee, Davis is injured, but he's part of that group. Skalski, we talked about him. That's their 7th sack of the season. Taylor standing back at his own 35-yard line to receive this punt. Trenton Gill drives it all the way down to the 20-yard line. Taylor with nowhere to go, brought down right where he caught it after that 57-yard punt. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back on the other side, we'll take a look at that defensive wall of Clemson's. Last week against Georgia Tech, it came down to the dying seconds of the game, and Skalski was there to answer the call for the Tigers defensively. Made the initial hit on that late stop, and he was shaken up late in that game, perhaps on that play, and right now on the sidelines trying to mend Moore with the tackle on the play on Shipley. This was the play a moment ago where he was shaken up. Looked a little bit kind of harmless, Robert.
Yeah. With those stingers, man, once you get one, it kind of just is a reoccurring thing. So I'm hoping that he's all right. And you see him there with the towel on his head. He was emotional during the break. It makes you feel like maybe he might be done for the day.
2nd and 12. Uyunglele going to try and run. Is going to be sacked for a loss of 1 on the play. Didn't have anybody open downfield, Robert. And that Wolfpack defense just engulfed him.
Yeah.
It'll be 3rd down.
He didn't have anybody open downfield, but once again, like I talked about on the 3rd downs, just straight stem routes. You know, no one is really getting mesh points or getting the easy pick plays. Where's the creativity offensively? And it seems like they not only do they not have an identity, but their offensive play calling is a little bit archaic. And they need to help DJ and help these receivers get open.
3rd and 13. Has time, and now going to be brought down inside the 10 by Durden.
You see it here, right? DJ drops back to pass. Everybody's covered. He had an opportunity to maybe hit the curl route there, but the one thing he cannot do is hold on to the ball. DJ Uyunglele, you have legs. They're big tree trunk legs. Use them. Get out of the pocket. You can't sit there for more than 3 seconds and expect a defensive lineman to not eventually win against one of your offensive linemen.
Loss of 7 on the play, 4th and 20. Myers punting from his end zone. Rolls out to his right, a line drive punt at midfield. Thomas inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line. The Wolfpack will begin this sequence with great starting field position, but a popular refrain this afternoon, a flag on the play. Clemson's defense going to be backed up here a little bit.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 43, receiving team. Apparently it's 15 yards. Receiving team will keep the ball. 1st down.
That's going to hurt their good field position a little bit. Penalty against the Wolfpack. We're going to take a short break with 9:08 to go in the 1st half.
That's 3 3-and-outs in a row for Clemson. Hey, for Clemson's defensive line, it all starts up front. There's something serious here. You see Trey Williams and Brian Brzee run a TT inside game twist. And yes, Williams falls into the pool on a belly flop, but he turns the QB right into Brzee, who's running like a tiger that didn't like his last meal, letting Jordan Yates from Georgia Tech know there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Okay. Great pursuit. That impervious defensive front for the Tigers. 1st and 10. Leary's 10 of 13. Make it 11 of 14 and a 1st down to Emezi. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, Iowa getting a little bit of a fight out of Colorado State. Big favorites, 23.5-point favorites. Took a while to score. Spencer Petras. Good ball to Keegan Johnson. 7-0 Hawkeyes midway through the 2nd.
Matt Berry, South Dubuque Street in Iowa City, probably popping right now after that play. Leary with time, taking a shot into the end zone, incomplete, off the hands of Devin Carter. So close.
Oh,
they had a
so
man.
Close. Look at this. Ow, man, he almost reeled that in. This is, oh my Lord.
I had the best seat in the house. I'm standing about 5 yards right from where this ball landed. I thought he had it. I thought he had it tracked. It's almost as if he put his arms out too early. I mean, that missed by 2 or 3 inches.
Every inch counts.
2nd down and 10. Leary sacked. Oh, no. He escapes temporarily, gets it out of bounds. It went beyond the line of scrimmage. Brzee and Murphy there with the pressure. So there was a receiver in the area. That's not going to be intentional grounding. But it's still 3rd and 10.
Miles Murphy, that guy, he can play. He's got a nice inside rush right there and got a hold of the quarterback. All he's got to do is hold on, and that's a sack. Now, then Devin Leary did throw that away. I don't know if there's really a receiver in the area, but hey, I'm a quarterback. You got to let that one slide.
3rd and 10. Leary gets rid of it quickly, completes it to the edge, and nowhere to go this time for Devin Carter, who had an opportunity a couple of plays ago, and it's going to be 4th down and about 3. Venables making the tackle on the play, the son of the defensive coordinator.
Oh, they're going for it.
Oh, they might have drawn him offside, which might have been the initial intent all along. Justin Foster right there jumped offside.
Offside. Defense number 35. 5-yard penalty. Penalty results in a 1st down.
Well, sometimes it actually works when you try and draw him offside, huh?
It does, but Justin Foster, come on, man. What are you thinking here? Right? You're a senior. You played a lot. You know in these situations, they're going to try to hard count to get you off. Golly. I know they're upset with him right now.
Wolfpack get a free pass. Under 8 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Leary under heat, loses it, put it on the ground. It's loose. The Tigers say they have it. Still no call. Big hit by Thomas, who jarred it loose. And the officials are actually in there trying to.
Hey, you don't want to know what's going on at the bottom of that pile right now, okay? There's some weird stuff going on. Right? They're pulling on ankles, pinching elbows, trying to tickle each other. I don't know, man.
It's pretty intimate down there. And it's going to be Clemson football and a flag thrown, which is part of the theme of the day. Here's another look at it. Thomas knocked it loose.
Covered by the defense. Clemson has their 1st sideline warning. 1st down.
So it'll be Tigers football, 1st and 10. So close. And then a couple of plays later, the Tigers have the football. Back with more after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Carter-Finley Stadium. And this the 90th edition of North Carolina State against Clemson. The Tigers have won 15 of the last 16 against the Wolfpack. 1st and 10 Tigers from the 42. DJ hands it off to Will Shipley, stopped up by Isaiah Moore. Well, tomorrow, Sunday NFL Countdown before he faces Patrick Mahomes one-on-one with Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert. Plus, Randy ranks this week's best catches, and you got Moss kickoff week 3 with Countdown 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Love me some Justin Herbert. Loved him in Oregon. Became the starter last year. Things went his way. Tyrod Taylor had that unfortunate situation with the team trainer. The pass complete to Justin Ross. Folks, look at number 8. He might be one of the best, most compelling comeback stories in college football this year. Missed all of last year after undergoing 2 different spinal surgeries. I'll tell you more after this play on 3rd down and 9. Play clock under 10. Let's see what Uyunglele checks to. I'm not sure he got it off in time.
Looks like Dabo called a timeout.
Full snap. Timeout. Clemson. 1st charge, timeout.
Like that old Tevin Campbell song goes, can we talk? Back after this.
Back there in our college football studios with an update on Texas A&M Arkansas. KJ Jefferson out of the backfield to AJ Green. Watch this embarrassing tackling by Texas A&M. If that happens, the guy's going to score 17-0 Arkansas over Texas A&M.
Over 50,000 in attendance here at Carter-Finley Stadium. Clemson 0 for 4 on third downs and now 0 for 5 with that incompletion. Good smoke and heat from Isaiah Moore. He was a big part of that defense. Moore, number 1. Big mentor for Drake Thomas as we go down to Quinn.
Mark, don't sleep on special teams in a game that appears to be knotted, whether it's a turnover, a big swing in field position, a big play, maybe a long field goal from two very talented kickers. This game is tight. Maybe special teams can be the difference.
Great point, Quinn. Fires from his own 38. Thomas with a fair catch at the 12-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there after the 41-yard punt. As we take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Goodyear. Alabama 1, Georgia 2.
Yeah.
What jumps off the page at you?
Oh, for me, there's so many teams that are playing better than teams that are on this list. Obviously, Arkansas is beating up on Texas A&M right now, and I do believe that Ole Miss deserves to be in this top 10, the way they've been playing early this year. But it's still early in the season, and I do believe there's a massive gap right here between the first 2 teams in the country and everybody else.
Big cliff after Georgia. Person Jr. in the backfield. 6:06 to go in the first half. Person with a nice carry. Stopped up at about the 17 by Mickens. Picked up 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5. With 6 minutes to go.
I was going to say, you know, sometimes with these rankings, we get caught up in where teams are earlier in the year because it's all based off of preseason expectations. So guys start losing, teams start winning, and it ends up, you know, figuring itself out by the end of the year. But yes, there are some teams right now in the top 10 that do not deserve to be there based off how they're playing.
You going to name names? What? There's a couple there. 2nd and 5. Spector with a nice stop. On the run by Person. A couple of touchdowns in the ball game. Uiagalelei right there with the first one. And then Leary to Emezi, pardon me. And then Skalski injured. And we haven't seen him since that play. There's a look at the respective time of possession in favor of the Wolfpack right now. And Skalski helmet off on the sideline. Interesting to see what kind of impact that has on the Tiger defense. Behind the intended receiver, Tootle. And it's incomplete, sets up a 4th down. Robert, we were talking about it a little bit yesterday. This had a lot of potential to line up as a low-scoring game, right?
Yeah, as an offensive guy, right, you love to see points put on the board. But there's just something beautiful about a defensive struggle. We talked to Quint about special teams and how it can impact the outcome of the game. That's what it seems like this game is going towards. Both teams are struggling offensively. They're committing a lot of penalties. So we could be in for a low-scoring affair here.
Add that to the fact you saw how many points per game each team has allowed, respectively. Both in the top 5 in the FBS. Nowhere to go on the punt return by Will Taylor. Our Week 3 Monday Night Football matchup, a big early season NFC East showdown. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles taking on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN Deportes, the app, ESPN2. We'll have the Mannings. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. And, looking forward to that one. I've enjoyed watching the Mannings on TV.
Yeah, the Mannings have been funny,
They're
right?
just chopping it up
if
right
you
there.
know ball,
Right.
it's an enjoyable watch.
Yeah. The broadcast, we got Clemson with the football right now. 4:37 to go. Uiagalelei up top, a little contact. That's going to be a flag and pass interference against Pitts Jr.
A little contact?
Pass interference. Defense number 24. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Okay, I'll admit.
First down.
If I get hugged like that by my wife, I'm a happy guy.
Well, I'm not your wife, okay? But you see this guy, look. Hey, that's not a little bit of contact. He's over him like this.
He just brushed him.
No, what's nah, he didn't brush him. That should have been a 30-yard penalty right there, man.
He took one for the team. First down and 10. I kind of expected you to react that way on the pass interference. Little bubble screen here to Justin Ross. Talked about his story a little bit earlier. During a routine practice, suffered what he thought was a stinger a couple of years ago in 2019. Further examination discovered a rare congenital condition that he had. Subsequent to that, had 2 different operations and then wasn't really cleared until July, August of this year to resume football activities. And most people consider it a miracle he's able to play. And there's a miraculous interception. Drake Thomas.
We see you, Drizzy. Yeah, baby. Drake Thomas, a.k.a. Draco is what they call him, with the heads-up play off the tip by Isaiah Moore. What a play. That was a big-time defensive stop and turnover for NC State as Clemson was going down the field and putting together a decent drive.
Great adjustment on the football after the tip by Drake.
And how about this, right? Drake Thomas used to be Isaiah Moore's backup, and they have a great relationship, and now both of them are starters at the linebacker position. And how is it that number 1 Isaiah Moore is the one who tips the ball to Drake Thomas?
On the run, this is Bam Knight. Remember Draco telling us that he loved contact and hitting since the time he was 6 years old.
I hate to be his friend, man. Hitting at 6 years old?
Hey, according to him, like Drake's new jam, no friends in the industry.
I guess that's how they do it in Wake Forest, North Carolina, huh?
2nd and 5 coming up. On the handoff, this is Bam Knight. You know, it was great to see Bam Knight bounce back the way he did last week after fumbling early in the football game, put it on the ground, and then ended up rushing for over 100 yards in that win against Furman. But these 2 guys, Knight and Person Jr., Robert, what do you make of them as being one of the more prolific, productive tandems in all of college football, not just the ACC?
They are, and every team that's going to face NC State is going to see a heavy dosage of these 2 backs in Bam and Powell, number 7 and number 8. But as you see right there, it looks like Zonovan Knight was limping a little bit, so we got to check on that and make sure he's okay.
Approaching 2.5 to go. Broke a tackle. Nice cut by Bam as we go back to the studio.
All right, guys, coming up on the Lexus halftime report, Notre Dame makes a statement as Brian Kelly makes history. Plus, it is all Arkansas and Arlington. We'll have highlights of that one. And the ACC gets bragging rights over the SEC. Jesse Palmer, Joey Galloway join me coming up on the Lexus halftime report.
Hey, speaking of the ACC, what about Wake Forest? And a nice win last night for them against Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
Undefeated still.
Wake Forest seems like they're for real.
There's a look at the tailback story. Knight stopped up short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and about 1 to go. Stopped by Bentley on the play.
I wouldn't be surprised right here on 3rd down if they gave the ball right back to their running back. They talked with us and said because Clemson does so much defensively, they don't have just one guy that they want to get the ball to on 3rd downs. They want to get the ball in the hands of their best players. And I believe Zonovan Knight and Ricky Persons Jr. are 2 of those guys.
Knight, remember, had a 53-yard touchdown run against Clemson a couple of seasons ago. 3rd and short.
Uh-oh.
A timeout called by North Carolina State with 1:18 to go. Coach Dave Dorn wants to have a little conversation with the offense. Well, this season, along with their contributions to university's general scholarship funds, for every field goal and extra point made, Allstate will also be donating to the American Red Cross to help with disaster relief efforts. Thank you, Allstate.
Are you in good hands?
Always. Always. Up here in the booth with you, Robert, and producer Kim Belton in the chair, and the rest of the crew here this week. Aladdin Freeman, our director.
And we have fun, don't we? We have fun calling these games just for the love of the game. These guys are talented.
It's great to have college football back, Robert. Packed stadium here on a beautiful day. And yeah, 3rd down and 1. Knight will get the first down with a couple yards to spare. They'll move the chains with 1:13 to go. And right now, still on the fringes of field goal range for Christopher Dunn, who Coach Dorn says he's comfortable trying a kick up to about 55.
Looks like Balin Spector, coming back from missing last week's game, is down on the field right now. Just another blow to their linebacking core that's been phenomenal this year.
Yeah. Simpson, Skalski already hurt. Spector shaken up. And another linebacker down. As you said, Spector. And this defense giving up its first offensive touchdown of the season to North Carolina State earlier in the game.
Looks like an ankle. Good to see him at least get up and jog off the field.
And you see what a great teammate Skalski is, coming out to help his teammate.
That's Balin Spector right there. So you see him on this play. He's getting in there, getting dirty. And it looks like he just gets a little rolled up on with the ankles there.
First down and 10. Leary hands it off to Knight. That made a guy miss and picks up about 3. Kane Patterson making the tackle on the play. They're really testing that depth of the Clemson linebacking crew. And North Carolina State will use its second timeout. They've got 1 remaining to Clemson's 2.
Seems like offensive coordinator Tim Beck wants to get his best plays out right here before the half. But to piggyback off what you were talking about with Zonovan Knight, when he had the 2 fumbles against Mississippi State and he had the fumbles against Furman, right?
Right.
His teammates are the ones that picked him up. Right? They showed him that they need him, right? And what did he do? He came back and he had 104 rushing yards and a touchdown later in that game against Furman. This guy's a big part of what they want to do offensively in that stretch zone scheme. And Ricky Persons Jr., a similar type of back. These 2 guys, nobody wants to tackle these guys for 4 quarters.
Knight initially committed to Duke out of high school. Decommitted subsequent to that and signed at NC State. 2nd down and 6. Leary eluding that heat and sliding. Let's see where they spotted it, about the 38. Wow.
Hey,
I thought he deserved a better spot.
I was going to say, was that Devin Leary or was that Russell Wilson? Look at him moving in the pocket, getting vertical. And, get down. Get down. Be wary of those hits, Mr. Leary.
Yeah. And North Carolina State, Robert, is going to use its final timeout with 45 seconds to go. Talked about the hyperactivity of Brent Venables. He's fun to watch during the course of a game. One of the best defensive coordinators in all of college football.
Can you imagine being in that huddle right now? This guy is super fired up. And this is what Clemson's defense has been doing all year in these moments, keeping offenses out of the end zone. Tip pass here, big tackle there, making stops. They're not just making the routine play. They're making the special plays, and I think it's what's kept them in every game this year. They need their offense to play better, but if their defense can keep doing this, they will be in every game they step foot in.
What do you make of the chess match between the timing of his defensive calls and the offensive coordinator, Tim Beck, what he's doing on his end?
Venables is a guy that wants to get the call in as late as possible, as you talked about.
3rd and 2, the pass complete. Emezi with the first down.
but sometimes you can't do that. And I think that's why Tim Beck and North Carolina State are doing a good job of running the little muddle huddle, getting to the ball, running plays, because they don't want Venables to be making the calls. They want those backup linebackers who are in the game now to make them.
8-yard gain. Leary with a jump pass, incomplete for Emezi. And we got another flag.
Personal foul, shot block, number 56 and number 7, offense.
It's against
15-yard
Bryson
penalty, first down.
Spees. That's the 15th flag of the first half.
Yeah, I think that was on Thomas right here. As you see him lining up at the defensive end position, he gets outside of the tackle, and the running back cuts him while the offensive lineman still has hands on him.
Can't be engaged.
Can't be engaged when that happens. That's why you get the chop block call.
From the 45 now, with 35 seconds to go, still on the fringes of field goal range. Leary throws a dart complete. Forward progress going to be marked at about the 35. Thayer Thomas with the catch on the play.
They got to go fast here. The clock's running down.
No timeouts remaining. Leary can't take a sack. Throws it incomplete. Boy, he dodged one there. 3rd and 16 with 14 seconds to go. What do you do, Robert?
Yeah, I'm telling you, he actually had Thayer Thomas wide open across the middle of the field on a basic route. But as a guy, Devin Leary, he is not really that, fleet of foot, so he can't be holding on to the ball right here. As you usually sees those guys, he's got to find a guy to get the ball out to or throw the ball away. There, he was playing with fire, and luckily he was able to get it out of bounds and keep it out of harm's way from those Clemson defenders trying to smother him.
Great to see Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator for North Carolina State. His offense just 7 points here in the first half against one of the best defenses in the country. Robert, we said at the top of the show, he didn't want Leary overthinking things.
Yes.
How does it look to you so far in terms of Leary getting the ball out quickly and not overthinking things? Is he accomplishing it?
I think it's been more good than bad, but right there was a situation where he was trying to force the big play when he should have just went right back to his guy Thayer Thomas, who was wide open on the slot. But Devin Leary, he's done a phenomenal job of managing the game. And right here, this is a big moment for him on 3rd and 16. Who are you going to try to throw the ball to?
Down the sidelines, incomplete. 9 seconds to go. And Emezi, the intended receiver, and 4th down coming up.
I was going to say, man, I like this Thayer Thomas guy right here. They buzz a defender to the flat when he's got a little stick route. And what does he do? He recognizes zone and sits there and actually was wide open if Devin Leary would have just pinned his inside shoulder. But with no timeouts, it was a great job by him of throwing the ball away and giving him a chance to kick this point.
Christopher Dunn is going to be put on ice here a little bit.
Clemson, second.
As they call a timeout, the Tigers do.
Timeout will be 30 seconds.
Dunn, career-wise, is just 2 of 5 from 50 yards and beyond. His career long is 53 yards. This one is going to come from 53 as well.
I was going to say,
16.
From 53 in the stats you just read, I'm feeling really good about him making this kick.
Yeah. Quint?
Dunn is a 5th-generation farmer from Lexington, North Carolina. Fritz Farm, where his family's been growing organic black Angus beef and hay. He's got to use the adrenaline of this moment, to use that surge of adrenaline to get a little extra oomph for a career long.
Trying to do his family proud here, Q. This 53-yarder gets it up in the air.
Oh,
Not enough meat on that one, Quint.
I was going to say, where's the beef? He needs to barrel some more hay, get some more power into that leg.
Christopher Dunn off the mark with 3 seconds to go. In a low-scoring first half, still tied at 7 apiece. Dunn, not enough.
A little wide, too.
Yeah.
It's okay, Christopher Dunn. We couldn't make that kick either.
And so we're done now. 3 of 5 on the season. Uyunglele will take a knee here, and Clemson, ranked number 9, will go into the locker room tied at 7 apiece against North Carolina State, looking for their 9th win in a row against the Wolfpack. But they're having to work for everything right now. Still staring at opportunity, North Carolina State is. Let's go back to the studio.
This halftime report is presented by Lexus. Experience amazing.
Life is for learning, and that doesn't stop with graduation. A great university goes far beyond campus. It allows you to see the big picture. A great university gives you tools, community, partnership, a launch pad. You don't just go to NC State University. You take us with you. NC State. Think and do.
This halftime report is presented by Lexus. Experience amazing.
Who gets the win? Gentlemen, does Clemson suffer the loss? Joey, you first.
No, Clemson wins it. NC State's had their chances, didn't capitalize. Clemson's anemic on offense. NC State with the upset.
Okay, second half coming up next.
We call that ballin'. Doing this is my calling. Flow is so up.
Welcome back, everyone, to Carter-Finley Stadium. This is college football on ESPN, delivered by Papa John's. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. A low-scoring first half has us knotted at 7 apiece as Clemson tries to make it 9 consecutive wins against NC State. Miscues the prevailing theme of the first quarter.
You see right there, NC State tries a trick play. Not happening. DJ Uyunglele tries to run up the middle. Not happening. NC State tries another trick play. And what do they get? Fumble! Recovered by Clemson. And it's just miscue after miscue after miscue. Here's a tipped interception. Drake Thomas coming up with the interception there off of DJ Uyunglele. And it's really just been sloppy Joe football on offense all day for both teams.
Well, it's going to be North Carolina State football. They deferred to the second half. They'll get it to start this third quarter. Clemson Tigers seeming a little bit vulnerable here coming into Carter-Finley this afternoon. Their offense still trying to find its rhythm. Some infirmities to talk about for Clemson as well. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line for the Wolfpack as we check out our first half stats brought to you by PlayStation. Clemson just 3.6 yards per play, 0 for 5 on third downs. Not a great recipe for success.
Not at all. They've only got 8 rushing yards, right? If the quarterback's getting sacked and he's holding the ball too long, you got to be able to run the football. And then also for Clemson, right here, Jamie Skowski, the captain of the defense, is out of the game. It's a big loss.
Their linebacker depth has been tested this afternoon. Nice run by Person Jr. Picked up about 8 on the play. He was their second leading rusher coming into the afternoon. Here's how Skowski got hurt. Remember, he made the touchdown-saving tackle to help preserve the win last week against Georgia Tech. And there it is. After that play, went off to the sidelines. Now comes out for the start of the third quarter, minus his helmet and shoulder pads.
And it looks like what they've done is they've brought in Levante Bentley, number 42, who played when Balin Spector was out last game at that position at the will linebacker spot. Now he's going to have to play middle linebacker.
He's the ACC's linebacker of the week. After last week's performance against Georgia Tech, that pass incomplete, intended for Chris Tootle, will be 3rd down and short coming out for North Carolina State.
Well, I was going to say, they've got a lot of options here on 3rd and 1, right? You can run the ball, you can drop back the pass, but with those linebackers, with Jamie Skowski being out of the game, if I was them, I would stick the ball in the hands of either Zonovan Knight or Ricky Persons Jr.
Nose of the ball resting at about the 34. Person in the backfield. He'll get the call. Picks up the first down, plus about 3. Down to Quinn.
You guys mentioned Skowski done for the day, comes back onto the field without shoulder pads, so we will see Spector and Bentley starting on the inside. Spoke to Dabo Swinney. You know, usually he's energy and Mr. Positivity. I got to tell you, you could feel the tension. You could see the tension as his team entered the locker room. They're in a dogfight. Too many penalties, no run offense. Clemson on the ropes.
Well, they've faced adversity before. Best is the standard. That is the credo, the battle cry for the Clemson program under Dabo Swinney. And Mezzi making the catch on the play, picked up 4. Best is the standard.
He says best is the standard, and I'm more than sure that's what he was preaching to his players at halftime, right? All he wants from them is their best. And if they give effort, a lot of times that effort can overcome some of their technical issues or some of their flaws, but Clemson's got to get their mojo back.
Second winningest team in the decade behind Alabama. This pass complete again. Mezzi picks up 5. It'll be 3rd down and about 1. About the same they had on the previous 3rd down. And they were able to convert. What do the Wolfpack have to do here, Robert?
I just think they have to continue doing what they've been doing on this drive. Just keep eating away at the yards. 3rd and 1, that's a very high percentage down for offenses. So if they want to run the ball, they can. If they want to take a shot, they can. But right here, I would wait till they get past the 50 to take a shot play, run the ball, get a fresh set of downs.
Ricky Person in behind and beside the quarterback Leary. Person gets the carry. He'll pick up the first down. His forward progress was enough to get it. Bentley made the tackle on the gain of 2 on the play. It was interesting to visit with Devin Leary yesterday. And I asked him about his injury, which limited him to just 4 games last year. He said, the injury allowed me to prepare better, learn how to prepare better, to watch film, to analyze film, to really break down film, and also to improve the relationships that I had with my players, with my offensive linemen, my backs, my receivers, all across the board. And taking a shot downtown. Leary, incomplete. Intended for Anthony Smith.
Number 85, Anthony Smith. We asked the coaches about him this week, and they said he is our speed guy. Take the top off the defense guy. And right there, that's a special play, right? Some will say, just catch it and hit your hand. Yep. But he's got to make that play. First half, look at here. It was Devin Carter just inches away from making the catch. And right here, Anthony Smith, same exact thing.
Those are the contested plays that head coach Dave Doran contends they must make to win this football game. So far, not able to do that. Quick toss. A nice run by Person. Good tackle by Andrew Makuba, the starting safety, coming up to make that hit. A 3-yard gain on the play. There's a look at Simpson in the secondary. 3rd down and 7. Blitz coming from the Tigers, and it got to him. Leary sacked. The Tigers brought a lot of ordnance that time, and that artillery buried him, led by Nolan Turner.
Oh, I love it. They brought the triple barrel blitz, both backers and a safety. Oh, and Devin Leary never saw it coming. It's really actually hard to pick that blitz up. Clemson does an amazing job of timing it up so he couldn't see it, and gets the tackle and the sack.
That's the 3rd sack of the day for the Tigers. Will Taylor right there on your screen at his own 20-yard line. Trenton Gill ready to punt, but there's a flag. You know, if college students are playing that game.
Offside, 54 defense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
See, I'm not that clueless, Robert. I know that those kids and college kids, they got those games where every time, you know, Mark Jones says, and it's a flag, something's happening at their get-together, their party.
That's 4th and 11. I don't know if I can speak to that, Mark.
Nice fake on the fair catch. Tied at 7 with 10:45 to go in the third quarter.
Hey, Mark, you okay? Did you go tailgating before the game?
Hey, I'm straight. I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
If you say so, my guy.
Suited and booted, ready for this third quarter. Hey, fans, make sure you head to ESPN CFB on social now to vote for your favorite college town and in the Football Town Showdown presented by Shell. What's your favorite town, college football town?
I mean, come on. We get it cracking in Waco, Texas. Baylor University, baby. You know how we do it.
Carried by Will Shipley, who today has only run 5 times for 11 yards. I'm going to vote. I got 2 first place.
Okay.
Iowa City, South Dubuque Street, Kinnick Stadium, fantastic. And then, the old Orange Bowl in Miami is my favorite spot as well.
Okay.
I'm going to go 1A and 1A. 2nd and 10. Get it out quickly. Pass complete to Justin Ross. And Justin Ross picks up about 4. No fumble. Third down coming up.
Wow. Look at that. On a touchdown drive, Clemson went for 80 yards just going down the field. And the other 7 drives in the first half, they had 7 yards. 7! Oh, man.
Clemson looking for a game breaker. A home run hitter. Is it Justin Ross?
They got to get it to Justin Ross here.
3rd and 6. Uyunglele incomplete. Intended for Ngata, who was looking for the pass interference and won't get it against Pitts. 3 and out.
You know how I was hugging you earlier, Mark?
I remember.
Well, this is how you hug him.
Oh, okay.
As a DB, you just hold your ground. And many people will say that's pass interference. As a quarterback, I say that's pass interference. But it's not, because the DB is entitled to his territory, and Ngata didn't do a good job of getting him off his spot before running that glance route.
Looked like he was holding him like a grudge.
My goodness,
hey,
man.
that's just me. 4th and 6. Spires with a high spiral, bounces at the 34, takes an auspicious bounce for the Tigers, and stops at the 23rd. Leary with another opportunity here on offense. Opportunity. And speaking of opportunity, we'll talk about some history that was made back in the day, right after this. You know, Mary Yarborough Court was and is a quiet, shady escape named after the first woman to complete a graduate program here at North Carolina State University. Historic place, and from there we go to Harvey Gantt, who was the first black student admitted to Clemson back in 1963. You might remember him, folks, as the 2-term mayor of the city of Charlotte. Watching our game here today, and Clemson graduate. Here's Zonovan Knight. And you think about, 1963 was a turbulent time. So you can only imagine what Mr. Gantt had to go through and endure with segregation and the Jim Crow South at the time. Kudos to him for helping to pave the way for people that look like you and I, Robert.
Oh, without a doubt, he is a barrier breaker, right? He's a guy that, as you said, led the way for us to be able to do the things that we do. And you can't understate just how much fortitude this man has had and what he's been through in his life.
Brian Brzee, meanwhile, shaken up down on the field, a key cog up front for the Tigers. Back after this. The infirmities continue to mount for the Clemson Tigers on the defensive side of the football. This is Brian Brzee being helped off the field. Here's how he was injured a moment ago. You saw that left knee kind of collapse as he was engaging with the offensive lineman. Right now on the sidelines, and nowhere to go for Knight. But what kind of impact is that going to have on Clemson defensively, Robert? As we get another flag, Brzee coming out of that tent.
Personal foul, targeting number 10, defense. The play is under further review.
Targeting going to go against Spector, but I come back to Brzee. We've already seen Skalski injured.
It was a dead ball, personal foul.
Of course, they came into the game without Tyler Davis with the bicep injury and subsequent surgery.
Yeah, we talk about Jamie Skalski and him being the one that makes it go. But up front, Brian Brzee, without him in there, their defensive line will not be able to do the things that we've been seeing so often. But as you see here with Balin Spector with the targeting, he puts the head down a little bit and tries to run through the running back. I'm not sure if everything is there for a targeting penalty. It just depends on when the ref blew the whistle. But I don't really see him launch right here. And I think that's the nature of the flag, right? He's not launching. He is leaning with the crown of his helmet, but I think they're going to pick up this flag.
Our guys on College Game Day did a great breakdown earlier today. There's a look at the targeting rule and the boxes that need to be checked. But earlier today on Game Day, there was a fantastic feature, and the statistical breakdown was interesting. 75% of the targeting calls are a result of the crown of the helmet. 45 calls overall in totality have been overturned.
There is no targeting on the play.
Okay, that adds another one to the total. 60, meanwhile, have been confirmed.
Yeah, as I said, the nature of the rule is to try to protect players, right? We don't want them launching, leading with the crown of their helmet and doing all these things, but you watch Balin Spector, number 10, coming in here. He's not launching at the guy. He's just trying to hit him and push him further back, and it just so happens that his helmet makes contact with his helmet. An accidental play.
So we're going to be looking at a 3rd down and 8 from the North Carolina State 25-yard line.
We've seen on these 3rd and shorts, NC State running the ball, but on 3rd and 8, they're going to have to drop back and throw.
There is no targeting, but there is a personal foul for the late hit on the quarterback. 15 yards, first down.
That part, wow. Okay, so it had 2 different components to it. Late hit on the quarterback is going to move the football.
Yeah, I think the ref means a late hit on the running back. It has to be, right? Because he handed it off to the back here.
Yeah, he said quarterback.
He definitely said quarterback, but, you know, we all make mistakes, right?
Yeah. 1st and 10 from the 40. Leary gets it out quickly. Complete to Lassane. And he picks up 10, just enough for the 1st down. Approaching 8.5 minutes to go in a kind of a disjointed 3rd quarter so far.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of penalties, right? A lot of injuries slowing the game down, but Devin Leary is processing at a high level right now, getting the ball to the guys that are open and moving his team down the field.
1st and 10 from midfield. Little receiver screen complete. Nowhere to go that time by Thomas. Hit by Makuba, who's been really impressive this year.
I was going to say, they definitely baited Leary into making that throw right there. Hopefully we can show you that right after this.
Hey, Monday Night Football, Peyton and Eli, ESPN 2, 8 Eastern. They'll be breaking down Eagles Cowboys from their couches. Special attention paid to quarterbacks, of course, Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott. Monday Night Football coverage also available on ESPN and the ESPN app. Really enjoying listening to and watching the Manning brothers do their thing from their couch. Pass complete. Umezi with a 1st down. Another catch for him. He's been a favorite target.
So you see here, they're going to blitz someone off the slot, and the safety knows that as soon as that blitz comes, that Leary is taught to make that throw to the screen. So what does he do? He attacks it inside out with velocity and ferociousness and makes that tackle. Good job by Clemson of baiting him into that and making the stop.
11 catches, 102 yards for Emeka Umezi. Knight got hit almost immediately and might have gained a yard on the play. Miles Murphy making the tackle. You see from Clemson's defensive front, saw where they seemed in their previous games to be running a lot more stunts and twists than previous years. What does that say about them, Robert?
Yeah, I think that Devin Leary and NC State, they've done a good job of running the stretch zone, getting in the 3rd and short, so we haven't been able to see them do that as often. And they're also speeding it up on 3rd downs or slowing it all the way down to prevent them from making those twist game calls.
2nd and 9, blitz coming. Picked up by the running backs, and Leary out of the pocket beyond the line of scrimmage and a flag down. That's going to be the 17th. Pardon me, the 18th penalty of the game. And that's Brazee. Introspective and emotional right now on that Clemson Tiger bench.
Holding defense on an eligible receiver. Pass across the line of scrimmage. It's a 10-yard penalty. There's an automatic first.
He's used to dealing with adversity. You see the strong written on the tape on his arms. That is to pay tribute to his younger sister, Ella, who has been battling cancer. It says Ella Strong on his tape there. And he takes his sister to the field every time he puts on his hat and his shoulder pads. Playing for her this year. He's been inspired by her and her fight. Knight picks up 2 yards. Ella Brazee has been in a fight. Cancer, and family has been by her side the entire way, and mom and dad, loving and doting parents, and big bro Brian thinking about his sister nonstop. Something bigger than him.
Yeah.
And when you play for someone beyond yourself, when the purpose is beyond you, it really carries. Knight close to the first down. A spirited run by Zonovan Knight. Got a good block up front too, Robert, from Bryson Spees to gain 8.
You kind of feel like NC State is wearing down Clemson right now, right? They've had a couple injuries. Their defense has been on the field for an extremely long time. Maybe they're starting to wear them down, and maybe they start putting some points on the board here in the 3rd and the 4th quarter.
Would have never thought I'd hear you say that at this point of the game this afternoon. Wearing down Clemson's defense. Wow.
I think part of it is because of the injuries, but also they are just effectively moving the ball down the field, taking what they're giving them.
9th play of the North Carolina State drive. Off the play fake. Touchdown! Carter with the catch. Devin Carter with his first touchdown catch this season and the 3rd of his career. And Brent Venables is incensed on that sideline for the Tigers.
You just listen to the crowd, right? Listen to him. Dave Doran said he doesn't care how many are here. He wants them to participate and make this atmosphere an electric one. And right here, you see this touchdown pass. And what you're not going to see is the safety coming down on the play action pass, which opens up the window right behind him for Desmond Carter. Wow, I mean for Devin Carter. Wow, look at that. Nice, easy throw. We talk about the routine plays. Right. That was one right there. The scheme won, and NC State made the play.
Leary delivered. Carter did what he was supposed to do. And North Carolina State leading by a touchdown.
Oh, man, Brent Venables.
A guy who is irate right now.
He is hot. Angry. Hot angry. Without a doubt.
Carter-Finley is popping right now. This is what we've all missed about college football. The party just got started here in Carter-Finley Stadium. 5:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. Shipley watches it go over his head out of the back of the end zone. A raucous crowd here today. Taco Bell, folks, welcomes you to the Live Moss Student Section of the Year contest. Use hashtag Student Section Sauce to get the committee's attention, and go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how you can compete. Strength in numbers, strength in the pack. The pack seemingly galvanized right now.
Oh, wow. This is electric, isn't it?
Let's see if DJ has a response here. Hands it off to Will Shipley. And that's going to be the 19th flag. I told you to take the over, Robert Griffin.
You did tell me to take the over. You did. This is true.
Holding. Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
I told you minutes into this football game when we had about 5 or 6, I said, you know what, let's set it about 20. We're at 19 now with 5:06 to go. It has been a disjointed effort by Clemson today.
Wow, 14 points last week versus Georgia Tech, the fewest versus an unranked opponent since 2011. And here they are.
Well, the alarms have been off and going off all week. 5 on the play clock. Uiagalelei. And a great open field tackle by Isaiah Moore, who's given him more.
We talked to Brent Venables, right? That's Clemson's defensive coordinator, and he talked about fighting for every patch of grass. But guess what? NC State is doing that right now. Isaiah Moore with the ankle tackle there. That if he didn't make that tackle, Will Shipley might still be running. They are fighting for every blade of grass, and you can see it. Tony Gibson is calling a beautiful game.
2nd and 21. Run it on the draw, nowhere to go. That's going to be a loss of 1. Jalen Scott making the tackle on Shipley. 3rd and really long coming up for Clemson. All the talk was about the Tigers defense coming to this game, not allowing an offensive touchdown. The only school in the country to do so as this Saturday began. But you know what, folks? This Wolfpack defense, Robert, they got ears too. They can read too. They've been hearing all the talk, and they're showing out as well.
NC State always makes you earn everything you get down the field. So here, they're showing the world what they've got.
DJ brought down at the 27, short of the first by Isaiah Moore. And a 3 and out again for the Tigers, despite the 13-yard gain by Uiagalelei.
At some point, Clemson has to take the training wheels off of DJ Uiagalelei in this offense. They're going to have to throw the ball. They're not running the ball effectively. They're getting behind on the sticks. They're going to have to open up and push the ball down the field.
Spires to Thomas, calls for the fair catch. At about the 23-yard line, will be first down and 10. And now for today's Aflac trivia question. Aflac. Right, Mr. Duck. When was the last time Duke, East Carolina, North Carolina, NC State, and Wake Forest all won a game on the same day?
What?
Come on, man.
Now, how y'all gonna give me that question? last week you give me a good one. You get that one right. You're gonna ask me to pick a certain date?
This ain't Jeopardy, man.
Come on, man. I'm trying to keep the streak going here.
Yeah. You might have said the answer without even knowing. I'm just gonna say that. Nobody up here on Google either.
I'm not on Google. I'm not on Google. When do I have to answer that?
We got a time limit coming up.
We got a time limit?
Maybe on the other side of the next commercial.
No, that's okay. I'm gonna take a guess. Since y'all gonna make it the hardest question of all time and say it's right there in it, and it was last week.
Okay. We'll find out.
Let me Google the actual date.
We'll find out after the next play. Devin Leary,
September 18th.
looking at 1st and 10 from the 14. There's that stretch play. Person couldn't get to the edge. Let's revisit that question, the Aflac trivia question. When was the last time those schools that we mentioned? Mr. Duck?
So I'm going to say it's last week, which was September 18th, because this is way too hard of a question. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. It's way too hard of a question.
You paid attention in
Come
school.
on, man. So it was September 14th, 1865.
There you go. And another flag, number 20. That was our Aflac trivia question. Aflac.
I thought that was a pretty good impersonation, not going to lie.
Tell you what, Brett Venables.
Offside. Defense number 8. 5-yard penalty.
Venables, one of the highest paid coordinators in college football. And his defense, you know, we talk about all the injuries they've endured, the infirmities, the things they've had to endure. They've still only given up 14 points. But right now, the offense is still stuck in neutral. 2nd and 3 for the Wolfpack. This is Person Jr. Stopped up after a gain of about 1. Under 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter.
I was going to say, do you know when the last date was that all those teams won on the same day before that date?
Now see, now that's the Aflac bonus trivia question, and I'm not ready for that. I would guess in the 60s, maybe somewhere.
It was exactly October 4th, 1994.
94.
October 1st, 1994. So I just pulled that one out of the...
Yeah, your search engine.
I'm searching engine now. Google.
3rd and 2. Yeah, that guy was sitting next to me during tests. 3rd and 2, over the middle, complete. Ricky Person picks up the 1st down. He was singled out for his great blocking last week. This time doing a nice job in the receiving game, picks up 5.
Clemson brings a little pressure, but no one's in the middle of the field, and that's what happens when you bring pressure. Sometimes you leave zones wide open. Larry finds it. NC State moves the chains.
Under a minute to go, 47 seconds in the 3rd quarter. Both teams with a full complement of timeouts remaining. Keep it on the ground. Person kept those legs moving, picked up about 4 on the play. And you might have had something there earlier, partner, when you said this Clemson defense might be wearing down a little bit.
It's not that they look tired,
right,
but they're starting to get beat down a little bit up front, and you just see them chipping away. 4 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards. Puts them in a bad situation on 3rd downs to get off the field. And NC State is not only eating up time off the clock, they're ruining Clemson's chances of winning or being in the national championship race.
Clemson has been the bane of North Carolina State's existence over the last 8 meetings, but they're hoping to end that streak here this afternoon. The emotion palpable and tangible. Back for the final 15 minutes right after this. Second and 6. Back to the action, back to the start of the 4th quarter. Larry gets it out quick, complete to Porter Rooks, the true freshman. Guy they're looking to get the ball to a little bit more, has great speed.
Look at this right here. Just the play count from the 1st half and the 2nd half. NC State is dominating. They have more than double the plays of Clemson, and it's because Clemson's defense has not been able to get off the field. So when we talk about them being worn down, it's because they're out there constantly having to tackle. NC State is putting together long drives, and although they've only come away with 7 points, they are still staying on the field, and it's going to pay dividends here in the 4th quarter.
Trying to stay on the field here, 3rd and 2. Messi in motion. They're going to get stopped up short of the 1st down. Good surge on that left defensive front, pardon me, for the Clemson Tigers. There are a couple of guys that got there to impede that progress. Rubin was the first one to get there for Clemson, and it's 4th and short.
Clemson finally had a havoc play right there with their defensive line playing in the backfield beyond the line of scrimmage to come up with a big stop. We knew they needed that, and now on offense, they've got to unleash the dragon and let DJ do his thing.
Trenton Gill with his 6th punt Fair catch called back at the 20-yard line by Will Taylor. 44-yard punt. Nothing on the return. A busy Saturday afternoon in college football. We'll have a studio update on the other side of this as DJ tries to spin when we come back.
In our college football studios with a Texas A&M and Arkansas update. Getting interested in Arlington, Isaiah Spiller. Up the middle, takes it 67 yards for the touchdown. Now 17-10, Arkansas is still in front.
All right, Matt, back here, 1st and 10 for Uiagalelei, and incomplete behind his intended receiver, Davis Allen. It'll be 2nd down and 10. What do they have to do, Robert, to find some kind of offensive rhythm at this point?
Right now, I want them to just open it up and allow DJ. You got to sink or swim with your quarterback as they go wildcat right here. I just want him to throw the ball, give him an opportunity to make plays and or make mistakes, whatever it is. They need something to spark this offense.
Will Taylor taking the snap here from center. And he hands it off to Will Shipley, a seemingly harmless play. Shipley. Well, tonight, 2 title fights in the return of Nick Diaz to the Octagon, taking on former champ Ruthless Robbie Lawler. Highlight UFC 266 stack card. The prelims on ESPN News, Deportes, and Plus, starting at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, followed by main card on pay-per-view. To order in English and Spanish, go to espnplus.com/PPV. 3rd and 9. DJ in a tight window with the 1st down to Justin Ross, his feel-good receiver.
Maybe that's the play that gets him going, right? Justin Ross, this guy's a baller. You got to get the ball in his hands. And DJ Uiagalelei stood in there against the pressure, made a nice throw. Let's see if they can keep that rolling.
Only their 6th first down of the ball game. Their 6th. Shipley in space, and that's his longest run of the afternoon. Brought down by Pitts, and a gain of 15 for Will Shipley.
And look at that. Finally, we got some life from this Clemson offense. Will Shipley, no juking and jiving, going through the middle of the field. Let's go.
1st down and 10. Allen in motion, now sets. Uiagalelei gets it out to Ross on the edge, and pushed out of bounds at about the 43-yard line by Battle. Shaheen Battle got him right away pretty much to limit the game to 9.
This is who we've been looking for out of Clemson all day, right? These Clemson wide receivers are talented, long, speedy guys. Get the ball in their hands. Let them go out there and make plays. Allow DJ Uiagalelei to make quick decisions instead of just holding onto the ball, doing drop-back passes.
High expectations for DJ. He pulls it out, and he's going to run with it. Got the 1st down and then some. All the way inside the 10, down to the 5. His hat comes off, so he'll have to come off the field for a play. Harris made a touchdown-saving tackle on the 37-yard run. So we're probably looking at Tyshun Humanchan coming into the ball game.
DJ, right, he goes to pass, sees a crease, and takes off. This is what we want to see. We want to see him use his legs. This DJ's playing the music right now.
They'll have to come out for that one play. Humanchan in the shotgun. Allen in motion. Gonna hand it off. Touchdown, Shipley! And the Tigers finally get into the end zone. And they do it with DJ watching from the sidelines. It's been that type of a strange, head-scratching afternoon. For Shipley, it's his 5th touchdown of the season. And they're a point away from tying it up.
It's the first time we've seen Will Shipley, this guy that has played great all year for them, really get out into the open field and make some cuts and not get hit behind the line of scrimmage. But they don't get down there without the decision-making and the feet of DJ.
And we are knotted at 14. Will Shipley, a 5-star recruit from the Charlotte area, finds the end zone. A lot of McCaffrey comparisons to that young man. Back with more after this.
ESPN College Football is delivered by the Shakaroni from Papa John's. Pizza with a purpose. Order today.
Well, this is Pack United Week on campus at North Carolina State University. There's a look at the group. The group was formed in wake of the murder of George Floyd last year, and head coach Dave Doran said that in meetings with his players, he could feel and see the pain of his black players who wanted to make a change. And he told them, he said, I need you guys to help me to help you change things in and around our area, make tangible change. And the school has encouraged them and helped them along the way. And they are an official entity on campus doing so many great things positively throughout this area in and around campus. And coach was very emotional when he was talking with us about it yesterday. It means a lot to him to watch that change and to help that change happen.
Everyone at home has to understand that it takes leaders like Dave Doran who are willing to listen. When you don't know about something, right? You don't know what you don't know. And you can't truly understand something unless you take the time to learn what other people are going through. He did that, and it's paid dividends for his team and the university.
Knight in the backfield, trips, gains about a yard. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, guys, this afternoon window, interesting developing stories around the country, including Baylor and Iowa State. Garmin Randolph, the tip and the pick. And right now, Baylor still on top of Iowa State, 28-23.
Let's go back to Quint for a little bit more on Pack United.
Coach Doran telling us about how this group had to grow through the pain, that dialogue, one pack, one goal.
Leary fires complete.
And Mark, he's got a right-hand man that you know well. Ruffin McNeil, the former head coach at East Carolina, is on the staff here. He's the head coach's assistant, basically his go-to guy for all things. And Coach McNeil was really instrumental in getting Pack United to get these players to talk things over with the coaching staff.
Really galvanized this team. Dave Doran's done a great job now in his 9th season at NC State. Blitz coming by the Tigers. Complete over the middle to number 29, Tootle, who picks up the first down and lets everybody know about it. Picks up 11 on the play.
Just another example of Devin Leary seeing the coverage, understanding that the pressure was coming. He had to get the ball out. And the one place that Clemson has not been able to cover all day, middle of the field. Wide open, Tootle, first down.
Coach Tim Beck said he's got to do what we coach him to do and not overthink it. 9:10 to go. Hands it off. There's the stretch play. Got a crease. Person. Going person to person. Face to face. And a first down for the Wolfpack. He picked up 22.
Look at the hole here that the offensive line builds for Ricky Person Jr. And they make it look like poetry in motion out there, man. Who wants to tackle that guy for 4 straight quarters? Clearly, nobody.
222 pounds with a head of steam. Person and Knight, a top combination throughout the country. Keep in mind, if you're just joining us, James Skowski, the leader of that Tiger defense, out with an injury, as is the defensive lineman, Brian Berzee. Little screen out of the backfield, complete to Thomas, and a flag down. It looks like this one's going to be a hold. And Mezzi was in the area.
Holding, offense number 86, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It's only the 22nd penalty today, Robert Griffin.
Only the 22nd. And here's the holding call. Oh, right there. Just stays locked in on him. He's just got to let him go right there at the point of attack. The offensive guy's already passed. That's not a problem. And you talked about James Skowski. Well, guess what? His mom calls him Jamie, so I'm going to call him Jamie.
There you go.
There he is right there. They're missing him right now.
The biggest cheerleader that they've got. 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And this pivotal battle in the ACC Atlantic Division. Wolfpack call a timeout. They've got 2 left when we come back to Carter-Finley. .7:58 to go in the fourth quarter. Knotted at 14. The Wolfpack with the football at the Clemson 46-yard line. 1st and 18 to go. Little trips right. They run the screen back in the other direction. Nobody fooled on that Tiger defense. Spector there to blow it up. As we approach the bottom of the hour here, let's take a look at today's game track delivered by Papa John's. 9-14, some of the cogent and pertinent numbers on the afternoon. 15 total yards in the third quarter. Clemson, the last drive, they had 80 here in this fourth period. Showing signs of life. Battered and bruised defensively. Losing a couple of key players. Leary eludes one tackler and gains a yard on the play. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, guys, have some Big Ten studio updates to get you to. We're going to start with Iowa and Colorado State. This one was tied midway through the third quarter. Spencer Petras to Sam Laporta for the touchdown. Iowa with the ball. They're up, driving. Rutgers has fought their way back in it on the road at Michigan, but this missed field goal keeps it a 7-point game midway through the fourth.
All right, back here, you look at Brzee without his equipment on, without his hat and his shoulder pads, and limping. Suffered that left leg injury. 7:05 to go. Leary on 3rd and long. Gets it away. Person with a couple of nice moves in field goal range on 4th down coming up. Interesting call. Let's go back to the 2 injuries. Here's Skowski getting hurt first. And then he went to the sidelines. Brzee right here. Look at that left leg. That left knee kind of buckled. And he was done for the afternoon. Talented player, just a sophomore.
Yeah, and you just hate to see that for Brzee, right? He's got his sister, Ella Brzee, fighting against medulloblastoma, which is an aggressive form of brain cancer. So you see the Ella Strong on his arms, and he's praying for her. I just hope he's okay.
Dunn from 51 for the lead and pushes it off to the left. Dunn with an opportunity to get it done and doesn't. Clemson with a tenuous escape. They'll have the football with 6:14 to go when we come back. Next Saturday on ACC Network, number 9 Clemson hosting Boston College in Death Valley, 7:30 Eastern. Don't have ACC Network? Go to ACCN.com for instant access. Uyunglele looking at 1st and 10 from his own 34. Shipley in the backfield. 3 receivers out on this formation. Little bubble screen to Ross. And nowhere to go. He'll be fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tariq Pitts Jr., number 24 right there, making the tackle. Had some assistance from Drake Thomas.
Yeah, I was going to say, Drake Thomas is the one who really makes that play there. He slow plays it on the run fake and then accelerates to the sideline to not give Justin Ross space. That's what he needs to make plays. So Drake Thomas does a phenomenal job of closing it in.
Shipley will get about 3. It'll be 3rd down and long. What do you like moving ahead as we got some guys getting reacquainted here and got a...
Yeah, I was going to say, what I know that Dave Duren wants is this crowd to be electric and loud to make Clemson not be able to operate as an offense. But once again, their best player on the field is the guy throwing the ball in DJ Uyunglele, and the best catcher is Justin Ross. find a way to get the ball to Justin Ross.
DJ made a big play with his legs, 37 yards on a run on the last drive. Got happy feet here, gets rid of it. Incomplete. 4th and 8, no flags on the play. Intended for Brandon Galloway. And a 3 and out again for Clemson. And far too many of those for offensive coordinator Tony Elliott here this afternoon. Thomas back on his own 20 for this punt.
So that has to be either the 8th or 9th 3 and out. It's just not how you win football games, man.
Fair catch called at the 23. What'll be 1st and 10 from there for Leary after the 41-yard punt. Devin Leary hasn't played a lot of football. 3 games this year, 4 last year before his injury. But so far, you know, I hate to use the term game manager, but it kind of feels like he's doing that and doing just enough to have them in a position here, Robert, in the 4th quarter with time winding down, in a position to win this football game.
This isn't what you normally see from a college football game, right? It's 14-14. This is like NFL scoring. You would expect these guys to put up 30, 40 points a game, but Leary is just taking what the defense gives him.
Knight takes the handoff, cuts it back and picks up about a yard on the play. Spector making the tackle. Had some help from Andrew Makuba.
As they say, all you have to do is make more plays than the other team. And I think that's the mindset that Devin Leary is going into this game with. And as we go down and the clock is running down, there's 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, he's saying to himself, I'm going to be the one to make the play. We got to see if NC State can go win this game.
2nd down and 8. Throws it on the out, complete. Let's see where they spot this. And they're going to give Emezi a favorable spot for the 1st down. Emeka Emezi with a clutch catch. Approaching 4 minutes to go in the ball game. 8-yard gain. They're going to run it with Knight. And Knight keeps that pile moving to gain about 4 on the play. Coach Doran told us when we met with them that they've come into the last couple of games here at NC State against Clemson in a position to win. They hadn't gotten it done. Right now, they're sitting pretty good.
He talked to us as we were actually coming off the field in pregame, and he said, we have to take that next step forward. And we're seeing that a little bit from NC State right now, where they're trying to seize this moment, and it's just going to come down to execution. Who is going to make the critical plays?
3:47 to go. Leary hands it off to Knight, bouncing it, and picks up a 1st down. Knight holding on to that football. Remember, he had that critical fumble last week early against Furman. Picks up 7 here, Robert.
Right here, you see the quick feed. He goes, gets vertical, and right here, he's having nightmares, right? He sees the ball on the ground. He remembers those fumbles from those 2 other games, and he doesn't want to be the reason that they're not able to win this game. Good job of staying calm, pulling the ball back into him. And let's see if NC State, the Wolfpack, tries to get Emeka Emezi the ball again. He's already got career highs in receptions and yards.
Knight's going to run it into the boundary and stopped up for a gain of about 1 on the play. Good tackle by Andrew Booth, and Knight getting up slowly. Tell you what, Clemson hasn't put a lot of points on the board today. That defense playing hard, though.
Yeah, that Clemson defense has been on the field for a really long time. And it's partly because they're not giving up the big plays, but they've got to come up with some big stops here on 2nd and long.
Leary gets it out quickly, complete. That's number 88, Devin Carter. And Carter about 4 yards shy of the 1st down. Sheridan Jones making the tackle. 3rd down coming up.
You talk about that game manager tag, and that right there is the simple play.
Okay.
Right? They give him free access, he takes the hitch. But guess what? It puts him in a great 3rd down position here. 3rd and 3. Their entire playbook is open. They can run whatever they want. Now I'm going to see where they line up Emeka Emezi, because that's the guy who's been their go-to player all game long.
Let's keep an eye on number 86, see where he lines up.
Oh, he's not on the field this time. They might be going to a heavy-set run or trying to hit Devin Carter right here.
There it is. They pass complete for the first down. Penix with his first touch of the ball game. Trent Penix moves the sticks with 1:42 to go. What a call by Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator there, Robert.
Tim Beck, right? He confused everybody. We're thinking he's going to throw it to Emeka Emezi, and what does he do? He takes him off the field, doesn't give the defense a key, and moves the pocket and gives Devin Leary an opportunity to use his legs and drop a nice little easy pass to Mr. Penix for the first down.
Picked up 11 on the play. He didn't want just attendance from these folks, the head coach, Dave Doran. He wanted participation. Shirts off, waving their shirts in the air. Wave it around like a helicopter. That's what they do in North Carolina.
Look at this scene. This is what we've been missing from college football. Woo! I don't even know if they know where they're at.
Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. Big 12 statement game in Norman. Maybe they'll have an atmosphere like this. West Virginia taking on Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler and number 4, the Sooners, looking for the win there. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC. The ESPN app, one tap. Right now in field goal range for Christopher Dunn, who missed a field goal moments ago. They're going to keep it on the ground with Ricky Person. And you saw after that miss by Christopher Dunn, Dave Doran went over to his place kicker, stared him in the eyeballs, and said something very passionately to him.
You definitely don't want to lose your kicker after he's missed 2 today from 53 and 51, but you got to let him know, hey, man, we need you. We need you to be ready because you could be the reason that everybody's excited after this game.
Toss to the wide side of the field. It's Person trying to get to the edge, brought down at about the 30-yard line by Spector. Clemson, keep in mind, has 2 timeouts remaining. Under a minute to go, 55 seconds and counting. North Carolina State has lost 15 of the last 16 to Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers. They've lost the last 8 in a row. But for NC State, today's game is all about opportunity and a chance to take that next step.
And you see right here, right? Christopher Dunn. Oh, he misses one because he's just a little wide left and a little short. Comes back. They're going to need him to make a kick here, possibly to win the game.
And here's the scene we were talking about a moment ago. Head coach Dave Doran grabbed him, said, hey, I'm guessing he said, hey, we're going to need you again.
Yeah, he definitely gave him some superlatives for sure. But without a doubt, he told him, you're better than that. We know we can rely on you, and we're going to need you to win this game. And shoot, maybe they'll be filling Hillsborough Street again like they do during Packapalooza here at NC State. You never know.
Boy, what a textile bowl this game has been. Low scoring, but competitive. 40 seconds to go. North Carolina State looking for a win here in their conference opener. And Dunn getting some love and support from his teammates on the sidelines there. 3rd and 3. Guessing they might run it to the middle of the field here. And look at that. Spector might have jumped offside. Or was there movement against NC State?
Well, it wasn't the defender over the tackle.
Offside.
Well, that was Spector, like I said. Dabo is jumping mad this time.
I can tell you, Dabo's usually a pretty high-energy guy, you know, happy-go-lucky positive, but I understand why he's upset right here. Baylon Spector definitely tried to draw the offensive lineman off sides with the hard count, but he wasn't the guy over the tackle who ended up pointing at him, and usually in those situations, they won't give it to him. See, because the tackle is the one that points and comes off of Baylon Spector, no one's expecting that to be called on Clemson.
They keep it on the ground again. Person picks up about 2 with 30 seconds to play. Look at Swinney's reaction. He thought it was against North Carolina State.
He knows the rules, right? He's telling the ref, man, hey, that's not the right guy. That guy can't be the one to come off and point at him and false start.
And we got a timeout called by Clemson. They've got one remaining. This would be the first win for North Carolina State under Coach Doran against a top 10 team. The last time they defeated a top 10 team, you'd have to go back to 2012. Last time Clemson lost to an unranked team, 2017. So an opportunity to rewrite a little bit of history here and trending for North Carolina State. And there's Christopher Dunn.
Jonesy, I'm actually trying to remember, when's the last time that Clemson has lost 2 games in September?
Wow.
They're not there yet.
Different times.
But their defense is going to have to step up big for them here. Maybe give them some time to go score on offense, and at the very least, push them even further back from an easy chip shot field goal.
Skalski, the guy that saved the touchdown last week against Georgia Tech, is not in the football game right now. He's injured. He was their savior last week.
And
they run it straight ahead.
Saying apparently it hasn't been since 2014 that they lost 2 games in September. That's how dominant and what we've come to expect from Clemson when it means winning football games.
And we get a timeout. Tied at 14. 9 seconds to go. Christopher Dunn, poised and ready, you would think, for his opportunity. With 9 seconds to go, he has a career long of 52. This should be an easy kick for him whenever it comes with 9 seconds to go, Robert.
You say easy peasy lemon squeezy, but he's missed 2 kicks today, right? And this is not what we expected to see, right? From Clemson, number 9 in the country, trying to get things back on track, but NC State has had upset on their mind all day, and now it comes down to Christopher Dunn to get it done for the Pack.
Let's go down to Quinn.
I thought both Dunn's kicks, even though they were from distance, little low trajectory, low loft, it'll be interesting when he lines up from inside 40 if he can get more loft. Keep in mind Clemson playing without Brian Bresee, the big tall monster in the middle.
Right. They're going to put it in the middle of the field. Neal. And with 8-7, the clock running, will stop it and give Christopher Dunn a chance for the victory for North Carolina State. After 8 consecutive losses, 15 losses in the last 16 games against Clemson, it is time, many say and feel here at Carter-Finley, for some straightening. Trying to get that win and fix it all with 1 kick. 2 seconds to go.
Exactly. If Chris Dunn can come out here and get it done, no one will remember those 2 misses from 50+ that he had earlier today. He has a chance to make himself a legend.
This will be about a 38-yard field goal. This is the scene after his last miss from over 50. Coach hit him up and said, hey, you know what? You're better than that. We're going to need you again. And that time has arrived. This is his moment. He's 0 for 2 on the day. This one coming from 39 yards out. Dunn for the win. He missed it. Pulled it left again. And Clemson survives. And we will go to overtime. An extremely painful miss for Christopher Dunn and the Wolfpack. Deafening silence has fallen on Carter-Finley. Dismayed, disoriented, and disgusted when we come back. Boy, Christopher Dunn going through it right now. He'll be walking some floors tonight and thinking about the kick that could have been. or the 3 kicks that could have been. That was the first. The second, both of those were from over 50. This from 39, very makeable. And it had the same track as the previous 2 before it, pulling to the left.
Look, he's sitting there telling his guy, man, they should have put me on the right hash. If I'm going to keep pulling them left, put me on the right hash. But, you know, we got the overtime rules. And there's been a change this year, so each team is going to get a possession from the 25-yard line. But after they get that first touchdown or the first points that are scored, they have to go for a 2-point conversion. Right. So they're trying to speed up.
You like the change?
Overtime. I do like the change, right? Honestly, I'd like to see some of these changes applied to the NFL.
I hope they're listening.
It would make the overtime of the NFL games a lot more interesting.
Maybe you want to put that in the suggestion box there.
Hey,
Robert
Roger
Griffin.
Goodell, we are talking to you.
Well, Uyunglele will get another opportunity after looking helpless on the sidelines during that last North Carolina State drive. And wow, you wonder, Robert, about the psyche of this Wolfpack team right now, right? After missing a very makeable field goal, after a history where things just haven't worked out against Clemson. Are they going through one of those here we go again moments? I mean, that's what you have to wonder.
That's what it feels like. It feels like they're saying to themselves, oh, deja vu, right? The fans are thinking.
Okay, guys.
Oh, here we go.
Great game, guys. We're in overtime now. Here's the deal. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining. Both teams still have a challenge, okay? If we go to the second overtime, if you score a touchdown, you got to go for 2. If we go to the third overtime, that's when we start the alternating 2-point conversions, okay? All right, Clemson, you're the visiting team. You're going to make the call. Tails. You're calling tails. The helmet is heads. That is tails. We're going to let it hit the ground. You call tails. It's heads.
You want defense first.
North Carolina State wants to go on defense. Which end of the field? You want to play on this end? Okay. North Carolina State, you're back. This way, please. Clemson will have the ball, 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
There you go. Clemson football to start things off. DJ Uyunglele will get an opportunity first on the field. Just 14 points so far this game for Clemson. And it hasn't been the smoothest ride for them, but keep in mind that 137-yard run that he had, Robert, was maybe the most significant offensive play of the day for Clemson when DJ ran and set up that touchdown.
Yeah, you see the graphic there, right? 2 touchdown drives to go for 160 yards, move the ball down the field, look like that explosive Clemson offense that we're used to seeing. Right. But their other 10 drives, only 24 yards. So here, if you're DJ Uyunglele, you're saying, Tony Elliott, please, please let me make the plays, put the ball in my hands, and go out and lead your team to victory.
Uyunglele is going to keep it himself and pick up 2. 2nd down and 8. He's a big dude. I mean, you talk about 6'4", 250 pounds. Robert, we saw him down in the field. He's a punishing type of runner.
Yes. You look at those legs. I mean, look at those thunder thighs. Oh, my gosh.
You got a lot of leg days, huh?
Honestly, I would prefer that if they're going to run him, spread it out. Go empty. Give him more space to run because he's not a super fast guy, but he can run with some power.
He's going to take off again after they empty out the backfield, and he picks up the 1st down plus about 3 yards. So that time, Robert, like you said, they spread it out a little bit more. They empty out Shipley, and it's a nice gain for DJ. He picks up 11.
He's not a guy that's going to run past people. But if you can give him space and have him only have to worry about 1 defender, as you see there, he makes him miss, he can get effective yardage down the field.
And got a split to the bottom of your screen. They're going to keep it on the ground with Shipley. Remember, he won a high school championship in this stadium about a year ago this time. Tanner Engel making the tackle for North Carolina State, picks up 2. It'll be 2nd down from the 10.
Once again, I'd look for them to either run DJ Uiagalelei up the middle or to try to get the ball to Justin Ross, number 8, who's their best receiver.
Ross, the inside receiver on that trips right. DJ going to keep it and brought down for a gain of about 1. He wants a face mask on Savion Jackson, but no flag on the play. 3rd down coming up.
You see him here trying to get up. That's definitely a face mask, right? Oh, and he pulled and held on to it too. DJ's going to feel that one in his neck tomorrow. I can understand why he wanted the penalty there.
Right.
But hey, the ref didn't see it.
We got an injured player down in the field. That's Will Shipley. Wow, what a terrible afternoon for Clemson in terms of injuries. Brazee and Skalski, and they were already missing Davis after surgery on his bicep, and Will Shipley now being tended to by the athletic training staff.
And you see him right here. DJ kind of goes, oh no. The defensive tackle whiplashes and then lands on Will Shipley's leg like that. Please, God, make it stop. We don't want to see these guys getting hurt.
You see the athletic trainer there doing the stability test on that left knee.
I can tell you right now, for a player, that's the worst position you want to be in. I've been in those situations when they're checking out your knee from injuries, and sometimes you just know when something's really, really bad, and I'm hoping that Will Shipley, as he comes home here to play at NC State, can have a great positive diagnosis after this injury.
Yeah, I'm not speculating, folks, but I've been around long enough in the gyms across this country to know what the stability test is when athletic trainers are checking out for knee damage. Let's take one more look.
And you see it right there. His left leg's in the ground, and oh, the defensive lineman just gets stuck and hyperextends his knee there, and you got all types of ligaments there that could possibly be injured. And as you see Will Shipley just limping off the field, it's just a very, very drastic
He's put up some
moment.
He's been their best player so far offensively this season. At least he has been in the last couple of games, earning his first official start here this afternoon. And he's a guy that, as I mentioned earlier, back in high school, drew comparisons to McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey of the Charlotte Panthers, so much so that McCaffrey actually hit him up last year after his high school championship and said, hey man, good job, keep working hard.
And Dabo even called him the best leader on their team, and that's saying a lot for a freshman. But here we go, we got 3rd and 7.
Kobe pacing for him.
That's the guy. Watch Justin Ross.
Uiagalelei, touchdown Ross! As prescribed, Justin Ross, one of the great comeback stories in college football this year, missed all of last year because of spinal surgery and comes through with a big catch here.
You see him here, he just runs up, steps on the toes of Tanner Ingle, makes him think he's running a corner and takes it to the post. Wow, that's a big time play and a big time moment.
9-yard reception for the touchdown. Clemson goes up by 7. North Carolina State has an opportunity here in overtime. They've got to equalize to get it to the next round, the next period. And Justin Ross, man, he has been maybe the most inspiring player on that Clemson team. They watched him all of last year attend every practice, even though he couldn't play. And even though there was a question as to whether he would ever play again after that neck injury. 12 targets, 8 catches, 77 yards, and a look of consternation etched across that lady's countenance.
I was going to say, there couldn't be 2 more drastic differences in those looks.
Yeah.
Because Justin Ross's look on his face is, I told you, I knew I was going to make the play.
It's Devin Leary's turn now. Arm in motion. They give it to Knight. Broke a couple of tackles. Nice run up the middle. Picks up about 7, almost 8 yards on the carry. Boy, Zonovan Knight has been a battering ram, a behemoth, a leviathan for him so far offensively.
Hey, man, how many more adjectives you got? That was incredible right there.
He's been a workhorse.
He has, and he's a hard tackle, right? They have him listed at 5'11", 210, but right about now he's looking 6 foot 230 to these guys.
They give it to him again. Knight puts his hat down and picks up the first down for North Carolina State. Pounding away on that offensive line. And that offensive line, we haven't said much about them. They've done a nice job today, right, Robert?
They are a physical athletic unit, right? You see number 79 right there. They call him Icky. He is an NFL-type player, and they have done a great job of really running the stretch zones, giving the running backs holes to get through. And we've seen NC State do this all the way down the field, but now it's just about getting into the end zone to stay in this game.
1st and 10 from the 15. They give it to Knight again. Cuts it back and picks up close to 5 down to the 10. The defense, remember, without James Skalski, without Brian Brzee, Tyler Davis did not dress in wake of his bicep surgery. And Spector has picked up some of that load today. He has 18 tackles. Wow. Sideline to sideline, Robert Griffin.
Yes, he is. And NC State's run 91 plays today. 91. And those guys that you mentioned that are out, they're not just NFL-type players. These are guys that Clemson has relied on day in and day out.
Emezi. Emezi brought down about 2 yards shy of that first down. So it sets up 3rd down and 2. Robert, what do you like here if you're North Carolina State? Emezi's been reliable. Knight has been reliable. Pretty flexible choices here, right?
Don't overthink it. It's 3rd and 2. Run the ball twice. Okay, you've been able to run the ball against this Clemson front. Make them stop you running the ball. If you throw the ball here, you know you're going to have to go for it on 4th and 2, right? So just go ahead and run the ball, stack behind your offensive line. But if you do decide to throw it, I would love to see them work this one-on-one matchup to the boundary.
They need to score a touchdown on this drive. They're going to pull it out into the end zone. Incomplete for Emezi. And there's a flag down. So hold on. There's a flag in the end zone.
Holding defense, number 24. This is an eligible receiver. Pass across the line.
There's the one-on-one to the boundary that I was talking about.
Automatic first down.
There's a little bit of a tug on the shirt there by the cornerback Jones.
Wow.
But hey, I don't know about that call. The ball didn't look like it was catchable, but hey, if you're a Wolfpack fan, you're very excited because guess what? They got a new set of downs, and they're still in this game.
1st and goal from just inside the 4. Zonovan Knight, the lone back. And it's Knight between the tackles, keeping those legs moving. Might have gotten a little over a yard. Foster there to bring him down along with Bentley. Man, tough sledding between the tackles on that run. Look at just the mass of bodies. 2nd down and goal. Which way are you looking to go here, Robert?
For me, I'm thinking they do what they did early in the game for their 2nd touchdown, where they moved the pocket. They brought the heavy set in, made Clemson think that they were going to run the ball, and they moved Leary onto the right side and had some easy throws for the touchdown. If you're going to throw the ball, now is the time. Don't wait till 3rd and goal or 4th and goal. Do it now.
Clemson has already scored in the overtime period. North Carolina State must do the same here. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Wolfpack.
Timeout. Final charge timeout of the overtime period.
And that's their only one in the overtime period. Clemson still hanging on to its timeout. There's a look at number 79. Talk about him, Icky. 6'4", 320. What an afternoon, now evening here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Emotions running high. A lot of excitement. Justin Ross after that last touchdown catch, and that's the opposite end of the gamut for North Carolina State Wolfpack fans. Dismay.
He thought he was going to be eating some Howlin' Cow ice cream.
How about that, huh?
You know? Come on, done. Get it done.
Be like that.
Sometimes it be like that. But now,
2nd and goal.
They got to get it in the end zone and stay in this game.
Two receivers out to the top of your screen. They motion one of them, Leary, into the end zone. A little bit of contact. And no flag on the play. Zonovan Knight ran into Makuba. Or say whatever you want. Describe it any way you want. There was contact. No flag. 3rd and goal for North Carolina State coming up.
And the Wolfpack did exactly what we talked about. They moved the pocket right there on 2nd and goal. Gave Leary an opportunity. But here, they're talking about the contact here. Oh, man. I don't know. They might have got away with one right there. And Leary didn't help him with the throw.
Right.
If he maybe threw the ball a little closer to him, maybe they would have said it wasn't uncatchable, but there was definitely contact there.
3rd and goal, Leary rolling out, hits his man, touchdown, Thomas! With the extra point to follow.
We've been talking about Thayer Thomas all day, so what do? They go back to the movement of the quarterback, have a nice little pick play there by the outside receiver for Thayer Thomas, and wow, nice play.
Christopher Dunn is 0 for 3 on his field goal attempts today. Does he still have his head or not? Oh, there's part of the answer. He ties it at 21. And all is well again at Carter-Finley until the next overtime round.
All right, Matt Barry in our college football studios. If you were waiting for Tennessee, Florida, it is already kicked on ESPN News. We will move it over here to ESPN at the conclusion of Clemson and NC State. But Tennessee and Florida currently playing on ESPN News.
All right, back here. Clemson with a timeout remaining. North Carolina State has used their one. Dave Doran's team has had opportunities, had a chance to win it on a 39-yard field goal at the end of regulation with 2 seconds to go. But Christopher Dunn pulled it left, but found a measure of atonement just a few moments ago and knocking through the extra point to tie this game at 21. Remember, in the second overtime period with the rule change, teams must go for the 2-point conversion. Leary hands it off to Person. And Person picks up about 3 on the play. Person and Knight have done a nice job carrying that football. Just grinding it out on the ground. Knight 6'1", 222. Pardon me, Person 6'1", 222. Knight, a nice compliment at 5'11", 210.
Can you imagine how tired Clemson's defense has to be? Right? They've been on the field for almost 100 plays.
How do you spell ice bath after the game? 2nd and 7, Leary has tons of time into the end zone. Caught! Miraculously, Carter!
What a play by the Wolfpack. Here, you're going to watch this catch. Oh, look, he gets it in the breadbasket, gets both feet in, and holds on. We can talk about Devin Leary in the throw all day, but Devin Carter, wow, that's a special play he just made in a critical moment.
Got to go for 2 here. They're going to take a look at it. 22-yard reception. He contorts his body in full flight, Robert. You talk about flexibility at that speed to make that grab. Unbelievable.
His ability to keep his eyes on the ball as he brought his shoulders back. Oh, man, don't underestimate that. That was a special play right there by Devin Carter, number 88. Woo! This is exciting.
Dave Doran told us we're going to have to make the ordinary plays, but also we must. It's paramount to make the extraordinary plays, the extraordinary plays, the super plays. And this is one of them. by Carter.
Here it is again. They run the fake screen and go. They've been running screens all day. Clemson's like, oh my gosh, we got to stop it. And then what do? They run the go pattern, and he makes a phenomenal adjustment to the back end zone. Man, oh man. That was easy like Sunday morning.
Well, the extra point still to come. They're reviewing that last catch.
After further review, the field is confirmed.
It's a touchdown. They've adjudicated it and called it good. Christopher Dunn now in. Now he's not coming in. They've got to go for 2. That's the rule change this year. The second overtime.
I was going to say, the Wolfpack might be happy that they don't have to bring Christopher Dunn back out there to kick another field goal, man.
Let's see what they elect to do. The nose of the ball at the 3-yard line. Ricky Person in the backfield to the right of Devin Leary. Thomas in motion. They look his way. Leary under duress. Gonna have to throw it into a tight window. No good, but they still lead by 6. 27-21. Clemson will get the football with one more opportunity to salvage this game. North Carolina State will have to hang its hat on defense coming up here. They're going to break that 8-game losing streak. But one more look at that spectacular, dynamic, athletic catch by Carter. Wow.
Look, sometimes as a quarterback, we just throw a nice ball. And then sometimes our receivers make us right. I call it HBO. Help a brother out. Okay? Help a brother out. Hey. He threw it to the back shoulder. He made the play. That's how you do it, baby.
Yeah, Carter has that station. DJ, little out and up, downfield, incomplete. Ross couldn't squeeze it. It appeared as if he had it until he made contact with the ground.
That was almost an identical throw and catch. And on one side, you see NC State make the play. And on the other, you see Justin Ross, their best receiver, make the adjustment. And as he's going to the ground, drop the ball. Man, that is a big-time mishap right there.
Kobe Pace in the backfield. They're without Will Shipley, who was injured a little bit earlier, remember. This is Pace. Picks up 5. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 to go. Tanner Engel making the tackle. But, boy, how big is it right now, Robert, that they don't have Will Shipley in the backfield?
It is. It's huge. Will Shipley is the guy that they've wanted to lean on. They've seen him play extremely well early on in the season, and now he's not out there anymore. You know, let's not make it seem like Mr. Pace here is some slop. This guy can play as well. But in this moment, you got to put the ball in DJ Uyungale's hand, either running it or throwing it. Let's see what they do.
Thought he was going to run with it into the end zone and incomplete. 4th down coming up for the ball game. Drake Thomas with good pressure on Uyunglele. 4th down coming up.
All right, Tony Elliott. Whatever your best play you got. The one that you said, all right, this scheme in this moment, it's 4th down and 5. This is what they're going to play. You got to call it now, man. It's now or never.
What a difference a season makes for the Clemson Tigers. No Trevor Lawrence, no ETN. This next group facing an uphill climb. This is what the scoring has looked like on the afternoon and now into the evening. Clemson struck first. North Carolina State came back with a couple of touchdowns, and then Shipley, who's no longer in the ball game, with that one, and then Ross with the touchdown catch. And into overtime we went. And Carter with some downfield pyrotechnics, some fireworks on that spectacular grab. It's 27-21. The gold standard in the ACC over the last several years right now on the brink, hanging tenuously by a thread. Clemson down by 6. DJ into the end zone, incomplete for Ross, and the streak is over. They answer the opportunity. NC State rides on the strength of the pack.
Oh my, they're gonna be eating Howlin' Cow ice cream tonight, baby. Oh, watch out for Hillsborough Street. Woo! The Wolfpack come away with the massive upset.
Dave Dorn talked about it. Said this is a huge opportunity for us against a top 10 team. I've never beaten a top 10 team here at NC State. It's a conference game. We got to have it. He said if you want a seat at the table, it starts with Clemson. Well, make room at the buffet table for NC State, because the Wolfpack are here. And some frayed feelings on the other side, understandably, for the Tigers. They came so close at the end, but Justin Ross couldn't come up with this one.
Here it is. DJ throws the ball. Justin Ross just couldn't get his hands out to it. It was actually a great throw. Oh, man. They're going to be watching that one all week and realizing how close they were to winning this game.
What does this mean for the Clemson Tigers with respect to the college football playoff?
Well, you never say never, right? But with 2 losses in the month of September, it's not looking good for them. Who knows what they're going to be ranked after this loss to unranked NC State. But all they can focus on is going 1-0 next week and see if they can climb their way back into the title chase.
For the reigning ACC champs, they will face more profound questions than answers as they prepare for next week's football game. Their 36-game win streak against unranked teams is done. It's history. North Carolina State wins against the top 10 team.
And the one thing that we can't forget to mention is the fact that Clemson is no longer in control of their own destiny when it comes to ACC play after losing this game to NC State. Wow, what a moment, what an atmosphere.
What a great time here, Carter-Finley. And the best catch of the day by Carter. For Quinn Kesnick and Robert Griffin III, I'm Mark Jones. Now to Joe Tessitore, Greg McElroy with Tennessee and Florida. Guys.
Welcome into the huddle. Georgia Tech victorious over UNC, like some of us predicted. Jordan Cornett, Eric McLean.
Oh,
that's how we're starting the show. EJ Manuel, Coach Mark Richten. And let's get right to it. We heard Coach Collins there with Kelsey in postgame. A lot of emotion from a guy who always delivers that emotion in the midst of a rebuild. Everybody hyped up. We'll get to that one shortly. They are hurrying me along here to Clemson NC State. So let's talk about that one. Clemson trying to win their 9th straight against NC State. Under 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score. Here's Clemson. DJ Uyunglele throws a dime to Justin Ross, 32 yards for the touchdown. And it looked like early on, EJ, it was going to be Clemson's day.
Absolutely, Jordan. That was a great throw in the back line of the end zone. You want to put it nice and high where only your receiver can make the catch.
Toe tap from Justin Ross. Clemson leads 7-0. Devin Leary here to Emeka Emezi, 9 yards for the touchdown. NC State putting on in Raleigh.
Hey, let me just tell you something. Anytime Emeka Emezi sees Clemson coming to town, he gets really excited. That guy balls out every year against the Tigers.
Went for 116 yards and a tutty. Coach, DJ Uyunglele continues to struggle. This one a turnover.
Yeah, sometimes you can't help if a ball gets tipped or not, but for the most part, he was not hitting his target like he needed to. When protection's there, guys are open, you got to put it on the money.
Devin Leary finds a target who would loom large later on, but here he does as well. Devin Carter, 12-yard touchdown. NC State leads 14-7. Uyunglele, people have been asking for more of this. The pocket collapse, tucks, and runs it 37 yards, setting up Clemson 1st and goal. Will Shipley, an important game for him with all his NC State ties, delivers in this moment, Eric.
Yeah, the second time we've seen a freshman for Clemson scored back-to-back 2-touchdown games. Special guy.
So it comes to this moment, game tied 14 apiece. Christopher Dunn from 39 yards out, and for the win! Wolfpack are thinking, no, not with the heartbreak we've been through with sports here. Our baseball team through COVID and now this, we can't have this. And we pick it up in the first overtime because that's where it had DJ Uyunglele to Justin Ross. And I'm telling you, the fans in that moment in Carter-Finley were like, here we go. Ross's second touchdown of the game. Clemson leads in overtime 21-14. But a response, Devin Leary finds Thomas for the 2-yard touchdown, and we're tied in overtime, 21 apiece. We head to the second overtime. First crack at it, the Pack, Devin Leary. Told you Devin Carter was coming back. 22 yards, what a strike here, EJ.
Yeah, a great strike, a confident throw right there, bouncing in the pocket. His offensive line allowing him time to let this thing develop. Great throw right there, and an excellent catch for the game, guys, by Devin Carter.
Failed 2-point conversion. Those are the rules of the second overtime. You have to go for it. So 27-21, 4th and 5. The last hope for Clemson. DJ Uyunglele, Justin Ross, maybe some contact there, no whistle. Take another look. Eric, do you think there was contact?
Yeah, he's holding his arm, but really as a wide receiver, you have to sell that. You've got to go all out, get that call. Ultimately don't get it. Great win by the Pack.
Pack win, Dabo, post-loss.
You know, it certainly hurts. Everybody's hurt. Again, we got a lot of guys in that locker room that, you know, have never lost a road game, a true road game. So, you know, this is that's where we are, and we've got to again own it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. You know, we've been an offense that's been really, really good for a long, long time, but you know, the criticism is warranted because that's where we are right now. And that's what we've displayed. So, you know, with the way we've performed, you're going to get criticism and you're going to get, you know, comments and things like that. And you know what? Hey, that comes with the territory because the expectation and the standard at Clemson and who we are, we're not meeting that. It's just that simple.
Expectation, it comes with the territory of Clemson, fair or unfairly, but the focus right now on a victorious Pack squad. Finally, that signature win. If you had any criticism about Coach Doran's program, you don't have it now. 27-21 victory against Clemson. They're first against an AP top 10 since 2012. They lost 10 straight against top 10 opponents prior to today. A signature moment indeed, one that will never be forgotten there. Christopher Dunn, the kicker, probably saying, thank you, teammates. Thank you for getting this done. Coach, your biggest takeaway from tonight in Raleigh?
Well, I think Clemson is in a situation now where they've got to play a lot of close ball games. You know, they've had some close ball games here and there in maybe once or twice a year, but now they're going to have a close game every single game of the week, of each week. And I know when I was at Florida State and we had that run of excellence, and then started playing some close games when I became head coach at Georgia. I wasn't used to having close games over and over and over. And it's tough on the coaching staff. It's tough on the players. So they better get ready on their 2-minute drills and get better at things, clock management, things of that nature, because they're going to have a lot of close ball games.
Yeah, and I think it definitely takes that adjustment. When you're used to being a program that walks into a stadium, you get off the bus, you pretty much already won because that opposing team is fearful. You know, they already think, all right, well, this is Clemson. Or when I was at Florida State, oh, this is Florida State. You know, those like 2012, 2013 seasons. And I think for NC State, you got to take your hat off to them. They played an excellent game. They executed. It wasn't perfect. You know, they had to miss field goals. They had some miscues on offense. Every team does, but you have to take your hat off to this team because they fought back and they gave themselves a chance to win, and that's what they did.
And that's exactly where I wanted to go, E. You have to give all the credit in the world. NC State was just physically dominant. The time of possession is so skewed, and how they were able to do that. The big nasties up front, Big Icky, Grant up front at center there. It was impressive to see these guys, Grant Gibson, and just the way that they did it was impressive, and that's what we knew it would take. I talked about, you know, at halftime of that game, it'll take near perfection. They did that in the second half.
This was a pressurized night for NC State. Of course, it is with Clemson every time they step on the field because it's CFP or bust for them. But with NC State, it was, okay, we know you're a good program. We know you're consistently there, competitive, and you're coming off a historic season. But can you do it here? We're actually expecting you now to do it at home here, and they delivered. What's the trajectory for the Wolfpack, EJ?
Well, I think the trajectory is as high as they want it to be. You know, I think now that Clemson's been knocked off by a conference opponent, I think now is kind of the right for the picking. I'm not saying they're going to lose a lot of games. I feel like as long as they don't kind of let this bleeding continue, stop the bleeding. That's the biggest thing. You got another game, move on from this one, you learn from it, and you move forward. But I think for NC State right now, the sky's the limit. And actually, I feel like also that crowd deserves some credit in this game, too. I think that fan base at NC State, you know, they deserve a round of applause because they played an impact in this game.
That's right. Well, the league's wide open for the first time in a long time. I mean, it's Clemson and everybody else. It's Clemson and everybody else. Everybody gets tired of hearing that narrative. Well, guess what? It's Clemson and everybody else fighting for the championship now, where in the years past, no one could really compete with these guys.
And I think it's safe to say that it's almost the Pac's division right now to lose. You know, you went over the biggest hurdle. You got the win over the Clemson team there, and everybody at Wake Forest hasn't played Clemson yet. You know what I'm saying? So they still have that, and North Carolina State. So, you know, when you look at it right now, the Pack are feeling really good.
Trevor Lawrence with Clemson in the regular season, 32-0. No Trevor Lawrence in the regular season for Clemson, 2-2. Wow. 2-2. So what a difference a legend, along with Travis Etienne, let's be very clear, not having those two erasers I've heard you call him before, EJ, makes a world of difference. A lot of pressure put on that defense, dealing with injuries, and playing a very good team, a very good program, and they got it done at home. Hat tip, absolutely, to the Wolfpack.
Leary has tons of time into the end zone. Caught! Miraculously, Carter! Clemson down by 6. DJ into the end zone. Incomplete. And the streak is over. NC State rides on the strength of the Pack.
A streak snap. 36 straight wins for the Tigers versus unranked opponents came to its end there at Carter-Finley Stadium. Robert Griffin, Mark Jones were on the call for the signature statement night in Raleigh. They have more in their reaction.
Here at North Carolina State's Carter-Finley Stadium, a mass of jubilation and celebration for North Carolina State fans. They end an odious streak of 8 consecutive losses against the reigning ACC champions, Clemson. And boy, what a classic, Robert Griffin. You thought this job was fun. It's real fun. This is the way it's supposed to be. And what a game that took us all the way into overtime, our first overtime game of the year. And, man, North Carolina State had all of the answers, even though when we look at this overtime period, it was Clemson that scored first.
Yeah, neither team wanted to give up on the ability to win this game, right? And NC State had upset on their mind from the very beginning, and they knew if they could keep it close in overtime, they had a chance to win this game. So you see, right, DJ Uiagalelei fires a dart in there to Justin Ross, and then Thayer Thomas comes back on a rollout and scores for NC State. And then in the second overtime, here, you got Devin Carter making an incredible grab. And the crazy thing was, Justin Ross had a similar opportunity earlier in the drive and didn't get it done.
And that was the ensuing scene on the field. You know, I'm looking at the definition of opportunity. Coach of North Carolina State, Dorian, said it's an appropriate or favorable time or occasion. Well, it was all of that in terms of an opportunity for North Carolina State. How big is this win for them?
I think Coach Dave Doran talked with us before the game and said, we need to take that next step forward. And what was the quote? Hey, if you want a seat at the table, it starts with beating Clemson. And guess what? Now they've got their seat at the table.
On the flip side of the equation, the question now arises for the Tigers. What do they do in light of the fact they are not in control of their own destiny anymore with 2 losses already, and we haven't even gotten out of September?
Now we got to talk to the man of the hour after a win like that in double overtime, victorious 27-21. Coach, can you show us how a coach celebrates when you have a massive win like that? What are you doing?
Well, we got a cigar right here. We got a solo cup.
We got a solo cup. We got a cigar. Tell me how we're feeling after that memorable moment, that memorable game, the game of the year thus far in the conference, Coach.
Yeah, well, I'm so proud of our staff, and the players, and got to give God the glory, man. It's been a 9-year journey to get it done, and Clemson's a great program, and we've had them 3 times before and couldn't close the deal. So there's no flinch in this group right here, man. I'm so proud of them, and I thought we really, really played well tonight. You know, dominated the time of possession, ran the ball, won the line of scrimmage. Super proud of these guys and excited about what's coming next.
Now, we're going to talk some ball with you. Coach has some questions. Don't let that cigar run out, Coach. You go ahead and puff that thing. Coach, go ahead.
All right, Coach, considering you lost Wilson and Fagan, I mean, what a great defensive performance. Talk a little bit about your D.
Yeah, next man up. Coach Gibson did a great job as a staff, and the guys were incredible. You know, I thought Corey Durden stepped in at nose guard and did a great job for us. Jalen Scott at will linebacker. Jakeem Harris played the whole game at strong safety. We were missing 3 starters on defense, and didn't matter. The next guy up played his butt off tonight.
Coach, talk about Emeka Emezi, your receiver. He had 14 receptions on the night, over 100 yards in receiving, played great. Just talk about the effort that he brings to this football team.
Well, you know, we said we had to make special plays tonight on offense to win, and Devin Carter and Emeka did that. You know, Emeka was on the whole night, and the RPO game was really humming. I thought Tim Beck did a great job mixing it up for the different plays, you know, the smoke screens, the bubble screens, the slants, the outs, and had some different things on the perimeter to make their big guys run, and the guys just did a great job playing catch.
Coach, how about that trench warfare from your boys up front? Was very impressed all night long with what we saw from them.
Yeah, the guys up front battled. I mean, you know how much I love linemen, man. It's what it's all about. I mean, they're the heartbeat of the program. I love the big guys, and so super proud of the O-line and D-line. And that's what it's about. You start your program inside out. You know, it starts with Grant Gibson on offense and the way he makes the calls so the guards and tackles can play fast. And it was a good defensive line Clemson had, so guys did a great job.
Coach, you're out there amongst the people. You talk about how it's been a journey these 9 years. What does a moment like tonight mean to you?
Man, I can't put it into words. You know, it's when we missed that field goal at regulation, I was just like, all right, we're not going to flinch. We're going to find a way to win this damn thing. And the guys did it. And, you know, it was a tearful moment. I'm super happy they let the fans run down on the field for the players. I think that's special. That's college football, man. That's what it's all about.
Coach,
Love
that's what I was going to ask you about your fans. Talk about those just during the game and after the game.
How about that Wolfpack? You know what I'm saying? I mean, the fans were live tonight. They were on fire. They were awesome. They were so loud. And I said, I don't just need attendance. I need participation. And that's what we got tonight, man. If I could hand them all syrup bottles, I would. They were incredible.
And, Coach, going into the week of practice for this team, obviously the offense for Clemson is not what we've seen in years past. So what was the big thing or the big emphasis to your defense in preparation for this game?
You know, we knew we had to play better on defense than they did. You know, their defense was holding people to 7 points a game. Ours was 8 points a game. I told them, like, you guys got to outplay them. You're going to have to make a few more plays than they do. They're going to make their plays. The offense hung in there. We did a great job stopping them when we had to and not flinching when bad things happen. We knew they'd make a few plays. I mean, as you guys know, their receivers are really good.
Coach, what was the message to your defense that second overtime, getting the huge stop before they ran out there? What was your message to those guys?
Hey, just to finish, finish. We knew Clemson wouldn't quit. They're a proud program. We had an opportunity earlier to stop them, and we played coverage. And, Tony said, I'm not going to play coverage again. We're going to bring it. And I said, bring it, man, bring it. And he did. He brought it on 3rd down. He brought it on 4th down. We got 2 stops.
And, Coach, I got to tell you, class act for on a moment in a night like this to take time with your cigar, with your red cup. You do a magnificent job with the program. If there are any critics out there that had anything to criticize, they certainly don't from here on moving forward. Coach Dave Doran, congratulations on a win. You puff that cigarette. You finish whatever's in that red cup. You enjoy your night, my friend.
Congrats, Coach. That means a lot.
Yeah, well, that means a lot. I'm so proud of this staff and these players. And the Wolfpack's on fire right now. Raleigh's a great place. And I'm going to tell you, if you came to this game tonight and you don't want to be a part of this program, we don't want you. This is an incredible place, man. We love this place, and we're so excited about what's coming. Thanks for the time tonight, guys. Go Pack!
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. We want to come down there and get a cigar. We're about playing football. We want to join Coach down there. Coach, enjoy your night, my friend.
All right, see y'all.